edition of Feast Week. They're warming up in DeKalb, Illinois, starting their Thanksgiving football festivities a little early. The chili is hot. That shot is not, and Big Tom Turkey is pumped up. The locals have plenty of gridiron glory to be thankful for, as Coach Joe Novak's hometown Huskies are in position to earn a spot in the MAC championship game. ESPN2 College Football is presented by Nikon. The 2005 Western Michigan Broncos are one of the great turnaround stories in recent college football history. Today they look to finish up strong against a Northern Illinois team that can accomplish what even the best Husky teams didn't do. They can still win a MAC championship. And what a wild finish we have in the race for the MAC division titles. Let's make it simple for you. A win by Northern Illinois and they win the West. Meanwhile, we know we have plenty of interested viewers in Ohio because a win by Western Michigan here, and the Toledo Rockets would return to the MAC title game for a record-tying 6th time and face Bowling Green. Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Tessitore, joined by Coach Bill Curry, and we'll be with Dave Ryan in mere moments. It's late November, and it's a big football game with a lot on the line. It's that time of the year where coaches like to turn to their veterans, the guys that have been there and done that. These coaches are going to have a few gray hairs, though, because they're turning things over to freshman quarterbacks, Coach. I guess, fortunately, at least they've been playing well.
Yeah, Wilkinson and Hiller are 19 and 18 respectively. They're both freshmen, and they've got all this pressure in a game that has evolved such that the quarterback has to take on the defensive coordinator for the other squad. He has to make adjustments at the line of scrimmage against the coordinators who control the defenses, and that's a tall order. I was thinking about this, trying to put it in perspective, and I thought about the fact that I started my first game, the 4th game of my 4th year at Georgia Tech. I cannot imagine being 18 years old going out and doing this. But both these kids have played extremely well. Nicholson and Hiller are terrific young quarterbacks, great talents. They warmed up well. I think they'll do well today.
Well, a lot of pressure on them, but at least they have the support system with superstars on their respective offenses. For Northern Illinois, it's all about the sensational running back Garrett Wolfe to lean on. And in the case of Western Michigan, well, they have perhaps the most underrated player in all of college football. Dave Ryan has more.
Well, Joe, Greg Jennings may be the best college football wide receiver out there that no one has heard of. He has 91 catches this year. That leads all 117 1A college football programs in the nation. But as coaches say, it's not just the stats that separate Greg Jennings from the rest of the pack. It's his dedication, burning the midnight oil in the film room as much as the quarterbacks do, trying to learn the tendencies that defenses like Northern Illinois will throw at him today. They also love his attitude. He could have pulled a BMOC act, a big man on campus. He is from Kalamazoo. When the new coaching staff came in, that Bill Cubit told us this week, his attitude, phenomenal. They inherited a great leader and a great receiver.
You're going to hear plenty about Greg Jennings. There's Coach Cubit, his first year as the Broncos head coach. Took over a team that did not have a Division 1A win last year. Now they've won 7 of their last 8. His brand of discipline, determination, it's been welcome in Kalamazoo. And there's Joe Novak, no stranger to turning a program around. When he took over the Huskies in '96, they went 1-26 early on. Since then, they have won a share of the 3 MAC West titles and upset major conference powers like Maryland and Alabama. Western Michigan will be kicking off to start things off. They won the toss to defer, and Northern Illinois will receive. A.J. Harris, the deep man, and that kick, thanks to the wind today, goes right through the back of the end zone for a touchback. So Northern Illinois will start Chicago native Dan Nicholson at quarterback. He was forced into action 2 games ago. Last week, key road win at Toledo, started off the game 10 for 10. That was just 1 short of a school record.
That's amazing to me. I don't know how a kid does that. And the thing that the coaches like the most about Nicholson is his toughness. He's physically and mentally tough in every circumstance.
Southside Chicago kid.
Yeah.
They grow him tough.
That's what they do.
Wolfe gets the call. And this is typical Garrett Wolfe, right up the middle. A big gainer of 16 yards and a first down. Number one, just awesome. 5'7", strong, and can burn any defense. The receiver's good, especially number 84, Sam Hurd. Number 7, Britt Davis. He's a converted quarterback. And big Jake Nordine's the tight end. The line is led by number 62, Doug Free. They call him Doug Freak because of his athletic ability. Lewick, Van Aker, Eben Hock, and Broush round up the group up front. Nicholson now to pass, going to the far side, and it is batted away, intended for Wolfe. He can get downfield really quick. Nice play by Ishmael. A look at the Western Michigan defense, very young, up front. Big number 95, Paul Mersch. He provides much needed senior leadership. Belmonte, Varcadapane, and the undersized but hustling Matt Ludeman join him up front. The backers, Titoff, Declu, and you just saw Ishmael with the pass defended there. The secondary, well, it's the baby bunch. Freshmen, 3 freshmen, and a sophomore, Lewis Delmas, C.J. Wilson, Antoine Allen, and the cousin of former Iowa quarterback Brad Banks is number 6, Kennard Banks. Nicholson again, this time Britt Davis. Davis still on his feet and finally pushed out of bounds at the 44-yard line by Dustin Duclos.
Now that looks like an easy throw, but again, imagine that you're 19 years old, and it's not hard to keep up with Nicholson's age because he's got it on his jersey, but that's a tough throw, and this is a gusty wind and the kind of thing that early mistakes could occur, but not so far. Nice work by the offense, smooth so far for Northern Illinois.
3rd and 2 now. And you see some movement on the right side, fingers being pointed on both sides. It looked like big number 99, Nick Varcadapane, had crossed into the neutral zone.
This is where the linemen all try to make the other guy famous. You see them pointing at each other. They're trying to say, okay, that's the guy, that's the star right there. But they call it on the defense. You'll see a well-schooled offensive line. This is a Joe Novak unit. The offensive line has good discipline. They sit in there and they do not make many mistakes. I'll be surprised if they lose their cool today. They're going to face a lot of blitzing and stunting, but they're normally good at picking such things up.
So a first down for the Huskies. Here's Garrett Wolfe off to the races. Will he be caught? Yes. But what a start for Garrett Wolfe, the junior. Kennard Banks was able to chase him down, but not before a 35-yard pickup by number 1, Garrett Wolfe.
Number 86, Jake Nordine. Both these teams have big, tough tight ends. Nordine is the guy right here coming in this direction. Good block on Anthony Belmonte, number 37, and sealed him off. Great running again by Wolfe, and you'll see him run like that all day long.
So into the red zone early on for the Huskies. Wolfe again. This time wrapped up. Paul Titoff with the tackle. Well, he had a strong start last year against this Western Michigan team, did Garrett Wolfe. His opening carry went for 78 yards and a touchdown here. Already 51 yards on this opening drive.
Well, if he were full speed, he would have been gone on both those. He is not 100%. He's playing on a knee, and if you saw him at full speed, which we did earlier this year, you would know that he would have popped both of those for the distance. He got run down because he's not 100%.
So Wolfe comes out here on 2nd and 10. That's Britt Davis in motion. Nicholson to pass, and he has Davis, but he doesn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Good coverage by Delmas.
Nicholson, I talked about his physical and mental toughness, and when he does this little half roll, he's got 2 rushers right in his face. Could not pick up both of them. Look at him as he comes out here. He knows he's getting ready to be hit. He still makes a decent throw, not a great throw, but a good throw. Titoff and Ludeman right in his face. And we talk about Ludeman undersized. I went down there during warm-ups. He doesn't look undersized to me. He looks pretty big.
3rd and 11 now for Nicholson. Plenty of time, gets it off, and off the fingers of his senior wide receiver, Sam Hurd. Coverage by Banks again, so it'll bring up a 4th down.
Sam Hurd's their go-to guy. Number 84 is the guy who's just been phenomenal his whole career. He's got 59 receptions, 11 touchdowns, and you expect Sam to make catches like that. Weather like this causes the feel of the ball to be somewhat slicker than usual.
33-yard attempt for Chris Nendick. Nendick nowhere near. Cold, windy, and that was ugly. So all that offense goes for naught early on. 12:30 still to go in the first. When we come back, we will see Western Michigan's high-powered offense.
Let's go back to the presentation. Okay. Okay, now,
Traffic's not moving very well on the 10, and this is due to a stall.
Wherever you want to go, the Acura RL.
And I don't even have that insurance.
What insurance, Santa?
The one that pays you cash if you're hurt and can't work.
Huh?
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Can you just send down the toys?
Excuse me, do you believe your brokerage firm's advice is objective?
Sure. Their objective is to sell me something.
Well, he only calls me when he's got something to sell.
I made it my objective to do my own investing. So I switched to TD Waterhouse. Best move I ever made.
TD Waterhouse brings together free, independent research and third-party reports so you can make your own objective decisions. You can do this. Switch today to TD Waterhouse, the alternative to higher-priced brokers.
And the first thing I do is I get rid of all of his photos. I get rid of all the little, like, you know, concert tickets and stuff like that we went to together. I delete his email. And the last thing I do in a breakup is I delete him from my cell phone. It is so great because when you go to the phone and you delete it and your phone asks, "Are you sure?" And you look at your phone and you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm sure." He wasn't in my phone anymore. I don't even know who he is. David who?
Goose eggs here at Northern Illinois because number 25, Chris Nendick, just missed the 33-yarder moments ago, Coach.
Chris, a very engaging young man. This snap here is going to be perfect. It's going to be set down just right by the holder, Luke Biondi. All right, and the kick goes awry. And so naturally, Chris turns and looks at his holder as if, what happened? And the holder said, nothing, it was perfect.
Yeah, what are you looking at me for?
Those kickers are not dumb.
Here's Trevon Riley, nice burst up the middle and picks up 9 yards. He's the max leading ground gainer. Let's check in with Scott Reese in studio. Scott.
All right, Joe, the word is in on Terrell Owens. An arbitrator upheld Owens' 4-game suspension, thereby giving the Eagles the right to keep him inactive for the remainder of this season. Essentially, this was a victory for the team in every aspect of the grievance. We'll have much more at halftime with Sal Paolantonio. Joe, back to you.
Thanks, Scott. Big news there. T.O.'s going to be still out. Good run here by the freshman. Picks up the first down and is forced out short of the 40-yard line by Alva Hansbrough. Number 3, the true freshman, Tim Hiller. Last year at this time, he was wrapping up his career as the 7th all-time leading passer in the history of Ohio high school football. Now he's an 18-year-old college quarterback, Coach.
Yeah, and he's thrown 20 touchdown passes in 4 starts. That's just stunning. The poise of these young guys is amazing to me.
Hiller out to the flats, complete to the one and only Greg Jennings. Western Michigan, very good all-around running back in Riley. You saw him burst out at the beginning. We've told you plenty about Greg Jennings. You'll hear plenty more. The tight end is number 86, Tony Scheffler. He's a real threat, big and fast. Up front, starting center, number 78, Robbie Crutilla. He's the anchor. He's flanked by Johnson, Otney, Williams, and Moran. So another first down for Western Michigan. Riley again, nice gainer. Good start for the Broncos offense. Here's the NIU defense coming off a strong effort at Toledo. Coaches say that number 34, Ken West, is the strongest and fastest player. Larry English is on the other end. Number 53, Tim McCarthy, the instinctive middle linebacker with Hutton and Blaylar. 48 is Ray Smith, very smart player. 35, Dustin Alchick. And the identical twins at the cornerbacks, Alva and Adriel Hansbrough. And they play identical. Both good cover corners. Hiller now. Downfield over the middle. It falls incomplete. It was intended for Jennings. Ray Smith with the coverage. And Hiller is limping off the field now. Up and down again. This doesn't look good.
No, you just hate to see that. You don't want to see anybody get hurt. It's how Quince Holman, number 96, a terrific defensive tackle, puts on a heck of a rush here. You'll see him coming from the middle of your screen, coming from the right side of your screen. He's being pushed and stumbles and falls into the right leg of Tim Hiller, and you just can't tell well, they're working on the knee.
Both Quince Holman and Marty Wilson getting to the quarterback. You see Robbie Haas, the senior from Logan, Utah, who's already warming up. He has started a few games this year, so he does have game experience. But the big story early on, Tim Hiller, the true freshman, who has 20 touchdown passes, injured early.
Do Nikon people take better vacations? Or does the Nikon D50 just make it look that way? The digital SLR the world's been waiting for is here. The affordable new Nikon D50 makes taking incredible digital pictures so incredibly easy. Just about anyone can do it.
Classics, 24/7, anytime.
For all my looks. On the way to the match.
Con mis amigos.
Classics with my chords.
When it's cold, eh?
With my vest.
When it's warm.
K-Swiss Classics, year-round. K-Swiss.
Looking for the perfect gift that'll brighten everyone's holiday? Just head around the corner for our gift card from Applebee's.
Eating good in the neighborhood.
Bud Light, great taste, great times.
Something weird is happening.
Hungry for both steak and shrimp?
Doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving too.
Applebee's steak and shrimp double features.
I got a bad case of loving too.
ESPN2's College Football is presented by the Nikon D50 Digital SLR. Incredible pictures made incredibly easy. And in part by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, one taste and you get it. And K-Swiss.
Thanksgiving Eve in DeKalb, Illinois. There's the scene. Tim Hiller, the sensational freshman quarterback who set the freshman record with 20 touchdowns moments ago, went down. An air cast is on that right leg, and he's being carted off.
That's a terrible feeling when you're leaving the game and leaving your teammates. And he's had such a great year, and it's amazing. The guy's got 20 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He certainly has to be proud of that performance. And his team trying to encourage him and rally, and they'll play harder because of this.
Well, Ryan Cubitt, the coach's son, was to be the starting quarterback this year. He also left with a broken leg, so now in comes Robbie Haas, and right away they go right to the air, and Joe Chappell hauls in a first down catch. So Robbie Haas comes in, and Robbie Haas gets hot.
You know how I feel about backup quarterbacks, Joe. Watch Robbie Haas. This is a tough throw. Again, this is a fade right down, splitting a 2 deep between the corner and the safety coming over. Hutchik comes over, the leading tackler for Northern Illinois, makes a big hit, but a big completion by Haas right away.
They go to the ground game this time, cross the 20-yard line. So there is Robbie Haas from Logan, Utah. Did get playing time this year. Of course, they've had the injury situation with Cuban, who started the season with a stress fracture, so Haas actually started the year. Then they went back to Cubitt. Things were going well with him, and then he broke his leg. Haas got playing time until they decided to go with the freshman Tim Hiller, and now back to Haas. Plenty of time, plenty of options to the end zone, looking for his big tight end, and he's got it for a touchdown. Tony Scheffler, his 9th touchdown of the year.
I think Haas is going to be just fine, Phil. I've coached with some guys that just always cringe and said, we don't want to see the backup quarterback. Those guys come in and they eat us up. Now watch Haas set up. You can tell he's a veteran. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, set, goes through his progressions. Hansbrough trying to cover the big guy, Tony Scheffler. Scheffler is 6'6", maybe a little bit of a push there from the back, and a great catch.
Extra point is good, and Western Michigan, that high-scoring offense, strikes first. Robbie Haas off the bench finds one of his favorite targets, Tony Scheffler. 7-zip Broncos.
Call office.
Office.
Call Erica. Call Wayne.
Fort Wayne.
Fort Worth. 75 degrees.
72 degrees.
83.
88.6 FM.
Volume up.
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 Up. Volume down.
Chinese.
Seafood.
Mexican.
Italian. Display map.
Zoom in.
Zoom out. Out. Out.
Of all its abilities,
Call home.
listening may be its most impressive. The voice-activated Accurate TL.
ESPN College Game Day is heading down to Houston, where we'll turn the spotlight on the Bayou Classic, matching Southern University against Grambling.
These guys are really good.
Plus, our guys will look at all the big stories from across the country as the season comes down to the wire. Who's bowl bound? Who's in the BCS? Who's the Heisman favorite?
It's unfair to compare anybody to Reggie Bush.
College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, Saturday at 10.
Everyone has a holiday wish list. At GMC's Red Tag event, we have a list of our own. Better V8 fuel economy, more standard horsepower, and incredible Red Tag offers. Everything on GMC's list points to putting professional-grade engineering on yours. Now, during GMC's Red Tag event, get incredible Red Tag offers on almost every GMC truck and SUV. The price on our tag is the price you pay, not a penny more. See some red, save some green at your participating GMC dealers.
How would you like to win a new iPod? Future Vision Laser Center is proud to announce blade-free LASIK starting at only $2.99 per eye and never more than $9.99 per eye. For the ultimate in LASIK technology, Intralace. No blades, no cutting. And the ultimate in financing, too. No interest, no money down, and no payments for 18 months. And to celebrate this incredible offer, we're giving away a state-of-the-art iPod. Just visit our website at glassesfree.com to register to win. Call 1-877-EYES to see you.
6-1.
Robbie Haas, he's still warming up. Backup quarterback, got in right away and went to the air. The scoring drive, 8 plays, 80 yards. He hit Scheffler in the end zone, the senior tight end. 7-zip Western Michigan. Mike Jones to kick. And there's an example of the wind we have here today as the ball comes off the tee.
It is whistling. Tony Scheffler lines up all over the field. He's a tight end, but he's going to run a post corner here on number 12, which is Adriel Hansbrough. Hansbrough just not as big as he is. He's got nice coverage on him. He's going to pick him up in the 3 deep, right? He's in perfect position. There was not a push off. I joked about it, but the big man Scheffler did not push off. He just made a great catch.
Ball stays on the tee for Jones this time. Fielded at the 2-yard line by Harris, and A.J. Harris crosses the 20. Let's check in with Dave Ryan. Rhino?
All right, Joe, a lot of confidence here on the Western Michigan sideline as Robbie Haas takes over. And as you mentioned a moment ago, he is getting warmed up. Now, I want Coach Curry to break down his throwing motion. He's got a strange hitch. He actually drops his right elbow to his hip before he releases the ball. But there is confidence down here because he is a fifth-year senior, and he filled in for Ryan Cubitt, who was a starting quarterback heading into this year when he got hurt in that Temple game. Didn't sense any panic, guys, on the sideline here when Haas came in.
No, he took him right down the field. He does have an unusual motion. We'll talk more about that in a moment.
See the three different quarterbacks that have played. Fumbled snap, and it appears as if Western Michigan has jumped on it, pulled teed off, but a flag is down. But what a big break this would be for the Broncos.
Well, what happened was the ball came up, and Nicholson was not expecting it. Center popped it up there. He wasn't expecting it. Robbie Crutilla, Brian Van Acker, popped the ball up there. It went on the ground, but the defense was offsides. Watch the left side of your screen. There comes big Paul Mersch. He's offsides. The ball comes up early from Brian Van Acker. Nicholson, the quarterback, should always be able to get that snap, even if he doesn't expect it. That's the kind of thing you practice.
So the penalty will make it a short first down, 1st and 5. Garrett Wolfe to the outside, catches the corner, and has a first down.
Nice job of blocking out there. Jake Nordine, number 86, but this guy has been a highlight film his entire career.
Garrett Wolfe from nearby Chicago, averaging 6.3 yards per carry. 1,600 yards last year, and last week when he was a game-time decision against Toledo, he rocked the Rockets. Not even 100%. Here's Wolfe again, this time to the near side. Look at him dance. Crosses the 40-yard line.
It's just great fun to watch him play. And Doug, the big man that they call the Freak, number 62, but who runs so well, did a nice job of blocking. What you're seeing is about 85% of Wolfe. And look at how he carries the football, high and tight. It looks strange, but that's exactly the way you're supposed to carry a football, and that's the reason he very seldom puts it on the ground.
See over the 1,000-yard mark again, and keep in mind that he missed 3 games this year with a strained MCL. Wolfe, lots of room, downfield blocks from the wide receiver and crosses midfield. Finally taken down by Antoine Allen, a 13-yard pickup for Garrett Wolfe.
Tell you what, Nordine is having a career here. Watch this tight end now. He's gonna block down and pick off the inside. No, he's blocking out this time. They've had him blocking down. He's on Zach Davidson. He just ties him up completely and opens the hole. Huge for the little man.
Wolfe checks out here. First down from the 45. 3 receivers. Lone back is Davis. And here's Davis now finding lots of running room. Adrian Davis, you talk about short and shifty, 20-yard pickup. Garrett Wolfe's 5'7". Davis is 5'5".
Davis, the beneficiary of more good job by the offensive line. Again, it's free. Matt Biondi, number 74, is in the game now, and he's doing an excellent job. Britt Davis out there on the periphery. Everybody, the wide receiver, number 7, Britt Davis, also blocking. That's what you do when you play Novak football. Everybody has to be full speed every play.
So another first down for the Huskies, and a timeout called by Dan Nicholson. As soon as he got under center, he pulled out and wants to take a timeout. Huskies are on the move, looking to tie this game up.
NIU, serving the heart of America's heartland. Educating new leaders for the nation's 3rd largest region. Bringing expertise and innovation to communities and public schools. Creating new jobs and new workers. Conducting research that improves our quality of life. Northern Illinois University. Across the region, from Chicago to the Mississippi, NIU works.
Joe Tessitore alongside Coach Bill Currier and Dave Ryan. Glad you can be with us for this Wednesday afternoon MAC game, which is going to go a long way in determining the division races.
And Joe, Northern Illinois has been terrific in the red zone until today. They blew their first chance in the red zone, got 0 points, but they score 92% of the time down here, and almost 80% of the time they get touchdowns. That's what they need to do here.
First down here, they're averaging 12 yards on first down. Garrett Wolfe inside the 20-yard line. First time they got down in this spot, Chris Nendick missed a 33-yard field goal. Take a look at what Garrett Wolfe has already done, Coach. Great explosion up the middle on the opening drive.
Scott Schaefer, the defensive coordinator for Western Michigan, said what we cannot do, we cannot allow these guys to run on us, and I don't think he's feeling real good about this football game. So he's been playing with 9 up there to stop the run.
And on the other side, John Bond, the offensive coordinator for Northern Illinois, said if we can run, we're going to hurt them. They just hurt him there. Another first down at the 11-yard line. Looked like a face mask penalty may have come in at the end.
The blocking is just devastating up front. I mean, just a great job by the guys in the red shirt. Van Acker, the center, well known for his quick feet, number 65, doing an outstanding job of leading things when possible. When the defensive alignment is such that he can pull, they like to get him out in front of the back.
Cold weather, not a friend to referee Thomas McCabe's microphone, but you saw the face mask penalty that now spots up the ball just over the 5-yard line. First and goal for the Huskies. 93 yards so far for Garrett Wolfe. What a day he's in store for if he keeps those numbers up. Here's Wolfe barking loud. 10th rushing touchdown of the year.
Well, we talked about the fact that they had to get touchdowns down here because they're going to have a tough time stopping Western Michigan, too. I just have a feeling. And they sure, I mean, they're just ripping.
Nendick's extra point. Up and good. He has a school record. 86 of his last 86 extra points made. Garrett Wolfe in gear today.
Watch the big guy, number 65, the center. He has to snap the football. He's going to pull around like this and lead his little running back right into the end zone. This is not easy to do, folks. Look at him move. This is 6'4", 300 pounds. He has to snap the ball, moves his feet like a ballerina, turns it up. Beautiful. Offensive linemen don't get called that very often, Joe. Just had to throw that in. That's
Not at
so
all.
pretty. That is hard to do. That's a fine job by Van Acker.
Scoring drive was 7 plays, 78 yards, and Wolfe alone 48 yards on that drive.
And we get a chance to meet with players at every venue. Joe, I can't remember being more impressed by anybody than Garrett Wolfe. What a sharp young man. Really
I can't disagree. This is a young man who, when he came out of high school, he said it. He said, nobody thought that I would qualify academically, but he applied himself. He was shown a path. He was shown a way to get it done. He hit the books. He took night courses, got himself eligible, and he's been a star for the Huskies. Short kickoff was fielded by Kirk Ellsworth. It looked like it would have gone out of bounds, but instead made contact with it.
One of the things that Coach Novak told us is that this big win would affect special teams more than anything else. That ball hung up because of the wind, and the returner just lost his way. He forgot where he was, and had he paid attention, it would have gone out of bounds, and they would have had good field position. Kirk Ellsworth, number 40, the guy responsible for catching the ball, just was not aware of where the sideline was.
This will be real interesting to see now if Robbie Haas can maintain that hot arm. Once again, he came in subbing for the starter, Tim Hiller, who left with a right leg injury. And back to the air goes Haas. That sets up the screen to his tight end, Scheffler, but this time, well, that's what they call the camera club. Everybody getting into that picture and gang tackling.
12 red shirts. I guess you only get 11. 11 red shirts around the football. The camera club. Be in the camera club if you're going to play defense on Denny Dornbos's defense. Larry English and Keenan Blaylock there. Great job of hustle and pursuit.
So now a 2nd and 16 for Haas. To the running game they go, and Riley loses yardage. Wow, the Huskies defense playing really strong here on this series. Quince Holman, big number 96, coming in. That's his 12th TFL on the year. Strong tackle for loss there.
I asked Quince, I stopped Quince asking for directions the last time we were here. Watch the big guy just split the blocks. Good gracious alive. He just whips Matt Williams, number 62, like a tied-up goat. Big hit in the backfield.
Well, if ever there's time to have the leading receiver in the country, it would be 3rd and 17. Let's see if they can get Jennings into the mist. Haas being chased down and taken down. 3 consecutive plays where they lost yardage, a 3 and out. Ken West, the speedy defensive end, and Larry English pressuring the quarterback. West comes up with the sack, his 2nd of the year.
And where was Greg Jennings coming off the ball? Number 15, there he is. It was going to be a hitch and go. Hansbrough read it very well, stayed right with him, no place to go with the football. Great pressure by the Northern Illinois defense.
Laney from his end zone. And look at this punt. All the way back to the 30-yard line. A flag is down on the play. We'll take a look at what that is. Shatone Powers was able to bring it to the 39. A 61-yard punt, an 8-yard return pending the flag.
Those flags normally mean that the defense is offsides, but in this case, you got a formation error. They didn't have enough men on the line of scrimmage. Now, what he's trying to say to us is they only had 6 on the line of scrimmage, and you got to have 7.
You re-kicked it. Coach Bill Cuban not happy about that. I'll tell you, a coach who's really happy is Rich Rodriguez. His West Virginia Mountaineer team's looking to clinch the Big East and a BCS berth. They can do so by winning their final 2 games. They host the Pitt Panthers. The Backyard Brawl, college football primetime, presented by Cooper Tires tomorrow night. It's part of Feast Week, presented by Intel on ESPN Thursday at 8 Eastern. Pitt, West Virginia, also available in high def on ESPN HD.
I believe I would have made him kick that thing again.
You know, I was just about to say that. He's backed up against his own end zone.
He does have a lot of wind, but gracious.
Wolfe. Pickup of 3 yards. Dave Ryan has more on Garrett Wolfe. Dave?
Joe, really a lot of interesting twists in the story of this ball game. Scott Schaefer is the defensive coordinator at Western Michigan. He used to be an assistant coach here at Northern Illinois and recruited Garrett Wolfe. He said he came out of a very tough background, the west side of Chicago, a gang-infested area. He said he recruited him going into his home, really wanted to make him recruit him just that much more. He said his mom was a miracle mom, Garrett's mother, that is, in terms of making sure he stayed away from the gangs and away from the trouble. And Joe, after this play, we'll tell you more about the amazing story of Garrett Wolfe.
And here's more of the amazing running of Garrett Wolfe. Wolfe to the 46-yard line. Dave?
Well, Joe, to finish up the story, it looked like he was going to be an academic qualifier, as you mentioned. A guidance counselor at Garrett's high school told the coaches at Northern Illinois, you've got to try to get him out of this difficult area of Chicago. So Garrett took classes. He had to make up some grades because he didn't do well academically. They discovered he had some learning disabilities, and he retook those courses to turn D's into B's and A's, went to night school, took classes on the internet, paid his way through some classes, and he's a self-made man. An amazing story, Garrett Wolfe.
Indeed, Dave deserves everything that's come his way when you work that hard. Here's a 3rd and 3. Britt Davis cannot hold on to it. Good coverage by Louis Delmas.
Louis Delmas is one of those 3 corners. They got 3 corners, all from Florida, And I love the way Scott Schaefer said it. These guys are not afraid. They are not scared. If somebody makes a big play on them, they come back and say, he got lucky, coach. They got those short memories that defensive backs have to have. And I got the feeling that he thinks Delmas might be the best of the bunch.
Well, Delmas, much like Garrett Wolfe, had a tough childhood. Overcame a lot to get to this position. Dick Benner's kick. Greg Jennings calls for the fair catch, and he secures it at the 12-yard line. 41-yard punt by Dick Benner. Scoring summary so far, first quarter, Tony Scheffler, tremendous tight end, hauls this one in for the backup quarterback, Robbie Haas, and then the Wolf, Garrett Wolfe, on a drive in which he busted out 48 yards of offense, caps it with that touchdown run. Already 106 yards rushing for Garrett Wolfe in the first quarter.
He's on pace for 424 yards.
And if he does that,
he'll be Reggie Bush.
He'll be Reggie Bush, exactly. Here's Haas, play action. Downfield. Well covered is Jennings, and the interception easy to have by Ray Smith. They had 3 defenders on Greg Jennings. That was a force by Robbie Haas.
This is the kind of thing, Dave Ryan was exactly right. Robbie Haas with the unusual throwing motion. Watch how the ball drops as he gets ready to throw the football, and that's part of the reason it's going to hang up. It's a little bit of a 3-quarter delivery rather than coming over in the traditional way to the top. Whereas Jennings has a lot of company out there. Melvin Rice is on him. Mark Ryder's on him. Double coverage. Ray Smith comes up with a football. So there were 3 red shirts in the vicinity, and you have to think that Haas just was sort of counting on Jennings to go up and take it away from somebody, and I'm sure Robbie will get that corrected on the sideline.
So right back out on the field is Garrett Wolfe and that Huskies offense. Wolfe crosses midfield to the 45-yard line. Nice defensive play. The interception moments ago from Ray Smith. Defensive coordinator Denny Dornbos says that Ray Smith, football-wise, is the smartest player that he's ever coached. Says he knows all the tendencies, every play that the opposing offense could throw at you.
He knows every detail, where the guy puts his foot, if he's going to run a certain route. That's a brilliant football player.
Keep in mind, Denny Dornbos spent 11 years at Army, so that's a heck of a compliment, saying that this is the smartest football player he's ever coached. Wolfe, close to a first down. Zach Davidson, Nick Varcadapane with the tackle.
I think that was Wolfe's worst carry of the day. He only made 4 yards. He is just absolutely ripping. I mean, he's also getting a lot of help from his friends up front. The big guys are doing a terrific job. He's at 112 yards, and we joked about him being on pace for 400, but he really is.
So another first down for the freshman quarterback, Dan Nicholson, who's had a very easy day of simply doing this. Handing off to Garrett Wolfe, a pickup of just over 8 yards. Antwain Allen takes him down along with Paul Mersch.
Now, Western Michigan fans are out there saying, good grief, if we got 9 up there playing the run, how in the world can this be happening? It doesn't matter how many you have up there if the guys on the line are being knocked off the ball and being whipped. Jake Nordine, 86, Brian Van Acker, Ebenhawk, those guys are just having a terrific day, and they're just blocking them.
Something to play for. The West Division title. And another first down, this time by Adrian Davis, the senior, 5'5", 185 pounds. Oh, what's going on here at Northern Illinois with these small running backs? They like to hide them behind that big offensive line?
Well, literally, yes. I mean, that's what happens. I mean, you've got a guy that's 6'6", that's coming off the ball in your face, in your pads, and you're trying to fight him, and you can't. If the ball carrier were 6 feet tall, you'd be able to see him, but you got these guys that are 5'7", and all of a sudden they're by you.
Garrett Wolfe back into the game. First down. Wolfe gets the call again and gets a nice block on the outside, but cannot make that last move. And Kennard Banks comes up with his 4th tackle of the game. The freshman from Florida making a nice play on Garrett Wolfe.
3 freshman corners, Banks among them, And this is a marvelous play. This is hard to do now. This is the elusive Wolfe we've been raving about all day. Watch Bernard Banks come up and just drill him and take him down. That's quickness, and that's aggressiveness.
Banks is a young man that was being recruited by the Fighting Illini from Illinois, and he fell through the cracks, and Western Michigan was there to scoop him up. Wolfe, once again, not finding running room on the outside because of Kennard Banks. That baby backfield does have some raw talent in it, the defensive backs for the Broncos.
I may be a little bit biased, but I got to show you this center. Watch Van Acker as he comes around here this time. He has to leap over bodies. Look at this. And boom, on the ground. Great job of blocking by Van Acker. And now he's down. Looks like he got dinged a little bit on the play.
They're tending to Brian Van Acker, the 300-pound senior. See, they list him at 287 there. He was 300 before the season started.
He hadn't
back
seen
up
287 since junior high.
Exactly.
That time he was blocking on Greg Marshall, and he just did a nice job of cutting him down. And probably got kicked in the head and maybe a little dizzy or something, but it looks like he'll be fine.
They like to pull him out in front. He's got good feet.
I mean, really, that's so hard what he's doing. I joke about the fact that these guys are so big. I wasn't so big, and I wasn't agile enough to be leaping over bodies and still knocking people down, and neither was anybody else in our era.
Well, forget big. We just know that all centers throughout history at least have always been smart.
The center is the most important player. I'm so glad you recognize that, and usually the smartest. Coach Novak not happy with his troops.
5 seconds to go here in the first quarter. A game that means a lot. A lot of folks in the MAC are watching this one because if Western Michigan wins, we will have a MAC championship game up at Ford Field. That'll pit Toledo against Bowling Green. That would be the 6th MAC championship game for Tom Amstutz and the Rockets. If Northern Illinois wins this game, then they are automatically in the game, and we will wait to see what happens with Akron and Kent State tomorrow as the MAC regular season wraps up. Last night, of course, Bowling Green and Toledo with a tremendous double overtime game that Western Michigan was still holding out hope coming into this game that they could actually win the West Division. I mean, to think of that, a Western Michigan team, Coach Curry, that didn't have a win in the conference, and up until 24 hours before their last game, they were still alive for a division title. What a great job.
And Joe, starting 6 freshmen on defense. Part of what you're seeing here today is the freshmen are getting beat up a little bit again by a veteran Northern Illinois. But let me say, this is not characteristic Joe Novak football. Northern has already blown 2 timeouts, and that could come back to haunt them here before this half is over.
Likely the last play of the first quarter. Nicholson had plenty of time. Now he's scrambling to the right. Gets it off, and it is complete for a first down to Sam Hurd. 12-yard pickup. He nearly went 3 yards back after hauling it in. So Northern Illinois is in business again. They are marching down the field. Watch Sam Hurd go airborne. Nice job there.
Codebreakers, an ESPN original movie, Saturday, December 10th at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
What gives a man ultimate shaving performance? Brawn Activator's revolutionary foil with differently shaped holes captures hair growing in any direction for a closer shave in fewer strokes. And the world's most advanced automatic cleaning center leaves it feeling like a new shaver every day. Try the Brawn Activator. It's the world's best self-cleaning shaver, guaranteed.
That's what I call a car alarm. I won't be needing that. I don't drink in sleds. Please drink responsibly. Don't drive drunk.
Premium malt beverage made in the USA.
Honey, it's Rose on the TV. Listen, go to Radio Shack and get me this digital camera. It comes in a kit with a photo printer, glossy paper, a camera case, and what else? Anyway, that's what I want.
Hi, hon. I think you know what I want from Radio Shack.
A memory card. That's it.
This holiday season, don't just get a gift. Get the right gift at Radio Shack.
At BASF, we don't make the sunscreen, we make it stronger. We don't make the helmet, we make it tougher. We don't make the bridge, we make it more durable. We don't make the car, we make it more colorful. We don't make a lot of the products you buy, we make a lot of the products you buy better. BASF, the chemical company.
Jack Link's Jerky. Feed your wild side.
A cold, windy day at Northern Illinois, but a lot on the line, and a good crowd has come out for a Wednesday 1:30 day. They're looking to win a West Division title in the MAC.
Yeah, not just Wednesday 1:30, but Wednesday before Thanksgiving, with a lot of people having to work. It's a terrific crowd.
Of course, school ended yesterday here, too, so keep that in mind. First down, Garrett Wolfe. Wolfe looking for the block from his wide receiver, Sam Hurd, and he's inside the 10-yard line. Joe Tessitore and Bill Curry with you. Glad you can be with us. Coach, earlier we talked about the running game, and Northern Illinois strongly feels that if we can run on them, we can hurt them. They've been able to run on them.
How about this? 8.5 yards per carry. I mean, that's a nightmare for Scott Schaefer, the defensive coordinator, and Bill Cubitt, the head coach at Western Michigan.
Garrett Wolfe back to the running game and back into the end zone, his second of the day.
Yeah, and there are a little fisticuffs going on down there. A little bit of a late shot by Bernard Banks. Probably a frustrated freshman coming over, just taking a little shot after the play, and it looked like there was a flag. Let's see who it's on.
Down also.
It's the backup center, George Douglas, who's down, number 58. And
well, he was in for injured center Brian Van Acker.
Van Acker is coming back. They call the personal foul. They're going to call offsetting personal fouls. Some pushing and shoving. Again, it was a little bit of a late hit by Kennard Banks in the end zone. And you just don't push Mr. Wolfe around, so his teammates came over, and now Joe Novak is chewing out he's chewing out Garrett Wolfe for responding. They usually catch the second guy, not the first one. This time they got both of them. Again, excellent blocking, pulling and leading. A little bit of a late shot in the end zone, not a big deal. Pulling and leading was Jake Nordine, number 86. Again, you'll see him with the kick-out block there. Just barely can see a piece of it. Nordine is just having a career. He's made the key block on probably 75% of these runs.
Chris Nendick for the extra point, 86 of his last 86, and there's number 87. What a day for Garrett Wolfe. 18 carries, 140 yards, and take a look at his second touchdown. Huskies up 14-7.
Do Nikon people take better vacations? Or does the Nikon D50 just make it look that way? The digital SLR the world's been waiting for is here. The affordable new Nikon D50 makes taking incredible digital pictures so incredibly easy, just about anyone can do it.
Push me.
and then just touch me till I can get my satisfaction. Till I can get my satisfaction.
The more we get together, the more we get together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. There's Michael and Jimbo and that one guy you know. The more we get together, the happier we'll be.
Be brilliant with a past, present, future collection from Zales.
Go Huskies. They have 14-7 Northern Illinois on top of Western Michigan. Early on here in the second quarter, the Huskies trying to win the MAC West. Chris Nendin's kickoff. Kirk Ellsworth deep into his end zone for the touchback. Early on, we told you about the true freshman quarterback, Tim Hiller. He's been starring for the Broncos, but a real ugly-looking injury has forced him out of this game. They put the air cast on that right leg. He is carted off the field.
You have to hope it's not serious. And those things can be very painful and still not be very serious. So what a freakish run of bad luck for Western Michigan with their quarterback.
Robbie Haas has replaced him. He threw a touchdown pass. Western Michigan does not report their injuries, so we can't give you specifics as to Hiller. Haas finding his options among 5 receivers. It's Tony Scheffler. Let's check in with Dave Ryan, who's with Ryan Cubitt, another injured quarterback for the Broncos.
Well, Joe, that is the case. Ryan, you were hurt against Temple earlier this year and then had to pretty much be the role model and the tutor for Tim Hiller. What was that experience like for you?
Well, you know, it was unfortunate that the incident happened, but, you know, it's college football. But, you know, Tim Hiller's done a great job this year. He's probably the most mature freshman, you know, and poised guy that I've ever seen to play a position. And he's just done a heck of a job preparing himself. And, you know, it's tough to what happened to him today, but we'll see how Robbie does.
Now Tim is out and Robbie is in. What sort of things have you said to Robbie Haas to get him ready?
You know, Robbie doesn't need much. He's a fifth-year senior guy, and he knows what he's doing. He knows the offense, so it's just going to take him, you know, a little time to get used to it, get back into the flow of the game. So he'll be fine.
You get the screws out of your leg this week in another surgical procedure. What are the chances if Western makes the bowl game you can play?
There's a possibility. You know, the screws are coming out Friday, and it'll be 12 weeks about middle of December. So, you know, it's a decision if it's the comfortability of things. So we'll see.
Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you.
Third down for Robbie Haas. And we're going to have time here called by Western Michigan. We'll see if Robbie Haas can pick up the 3rd and 6 when we come back to DeKalb.
She's absolutely perfect.
And the best part, in each hand, she has a cold Bud Light. Good day, gentlemen.
What a waste of 2 Bud Lights. Bud Light. Great taste, great times.
The Venus de Milo!
You're quite right in thinking that this is a situation that calls for an absurd British comedy.
Drain the pool, get on your board, and wall plant 3 times. And lose the scarf.
Oh, we never survive. You see, unless you get a little bit crazy.
How's that?
Want incredible entertainment experiences in your lap? Get Intel Centrino mobile technology in your laptop.
Nobody can tell ya.
Steve, we just want to let you know, we know you're bald. We think you should stop wearing the Snickers.
What do you mean?
It's not fooling anyone.
What?
But you gotta make your own kind of music. Sing your special song. Make your own.
I told her I was a general, and she believed it.
You're so full of it, Paige.
What the? Jimmy, help Paige. Doyle, flank that position. Covering fire.
It's my job to lead these men. None of them are gonna die under my command.
Brothers in Arms, earned in blood. Rated M for mature.
ESPN2's College Football, brought to you by smooth and refreshing Bud Light. Great taste, great times. And Intel Centrino. For incredible entertainment in your lap, get Intel Centrino in your laptop.
We're at Northern Illinois. They can win the MAC West with a win today against Western Michigan. And they will do that if they keep maintaining their ball control the way they have. 3rd and 6. Right now, Western Michigan is trying to convert here. 5 receivers for backup quarterback Robbie Haas, who's been put into action after the injury to Tim Hiller. Chased down and incomplete. Zach Holycross with the play there defensively for the Huskies. Alva Hansbrough coming off the field there, and the Huskies look to get the ball back.
Just a nice zone defense. Nobody open down the field, and they force Haas into throwing it away.
Jim Laney with a short kick for Chatone Powers, who fields it at the 45 and is wrapped up and taken down. 31-yard punt, only a 1-yard return for Powers. Nick Saad with the tackle. Look at the ball control. I alluded to this earlier. Northern Illinois, 10 minutes and 49 seconds of offense, 184 total yards, and of course, Garrett Wolfe with 140 yards rushing alone. Thus the big numbers you see.
Well, when you go into a game saying we're going to play the run with 9, and you've got the safeties up there within 8 yards of the line of scrimmage, and they're flying to the line of scrimmage, and you're giving up 8.5 yards per carry, you're in trouble.
Wolfe, this time not much.
Yeah, good job there. Nice run defense.
Anthony Belmonte with the tackle, his 4th of the game from that defensive end position. There's a look at Belmonte. He started off his career as a walk-on, real tough kid, high energy, kind of undersized, but that defensive end type that really never stops. The motor's always running. Second and 9 now. 2 tight ends. Lone back is Wolfe. Play action for Nicholson. Lots of time. Goes deep. Has his man Sam Hurd. Sam I am in the end zone. They bid on the play action. They ran, and then finally Nicholson went deep.
Joe, that's what happens when the running game is going so well. Both safeties popped up there, bid on the play action, big time. Here they come. And Hurd runs right by the corner. Look at the safety trying to recover. You see Antwain Allen trying to get back to his responsibility. He can't get there. He's supposed to help on that post route. Beautiful play action and execution.
Sam Hurd, 12th touchdown catch on the year. Dan Nicholson, the freshman quarterback, his 5th. 21-7. Huskies rolling.
And the first thing I do is I get rid of all of his photos.
I get rid of all the little, like, you know, concert tickets and stuff like that we went to together. I delete his email, and the last thing I do in a breakup is I delete him from my cell phone. It is so great because when you go to the phone and you delete it and your phone asks, "Are you sure?" And you look at your phone and you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm sure." He wasn't in my phone anymore. I don't even know who he is. David who?
Investing is about knowing the waters and where the real risks are. At T. Rowe Price, we navigate the market with discipline, relying on experience and our own independent research. For each 1, 5, and 10-year period, over 65% of our funds beat their Lipper average. Low-cost mutual funds from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a complete prospectus or profile with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and other.
Doc, Father, I need your help.
Go on, my friend.
I can't take it anymore. The high-pressure salespeople, the bad service, the low selection, the huge prices.
You came to the right place. This I could help with.
Hi, I'm Andy Francis from Evergreen Kia, and we're always making deals you can't refuse. Like with the new Amante with $10,000 off, and that includes the Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. We're Evergreen Kia at 92nd and Western. Take good care of my Kia.
And we'll take good care of you.
As the leader in high-speed internet, Comcast knows broadband better than anyone. So Comcast Workplace gives your business speeds up to 7 megs and state-of-the-art security features. All from a company you can count on, day in and day out. When Comcast comes to work, everything simply works.
Oh. 21-7, 12:04 to go before half. Northern Illinois out in front trying to claim that MAC West title. A two-play drive, 54 yards, only took 48 seconds. The big touchdown catch to Sam Hurd. Chris Nendick. Picking off, Kirk Ellsworth. Another touchback. Big leg with the big win. Coach, walk us through that touchdown catch by Hurd.
Okay, here's Scott Schaefer, the defensive coordinator's theory. He's going to play the run with 9 men, and they've been ripped. So watch both safeties break up on the play action. Antwain Allen and C.J. Wilson right here. Here's Allen. Look at him. He's already pulling both groins, trying to change directions and get back here because his corner, Louis Delmas, expects help. The help's not going to be there. Delmas gets turned and actually makes a pretty good recovery. Hurd makes a great catch on a great throw and then runs it in the end zone. All because of the running game.
Running game for Western Michigan, not doing much there. The camera club, all the gang tackling, they all want to get on that film together. Dave Ryan, tell us more about Sam Hurd.
Well, Joe, many experts think Sam Hurd is the second best receiving prospect out of the MAC behind Greg Jennings of Western Michigan. Now, after 2 years here in DeKalb, Hurd was the third target behind P.J. Fleck and Dan Sheldon. But he says in spring ball before his junior year, the light went on. He says it hit me. If I wanted to get out of college and do something in football after college ball, you'd have to step up. Much more dedicated. Film room and the weight room, and now the coaches say he's a gamer, great practice and game player, as we're seeing, Joe.
Saw the improvement from his junior year to his senior year there. This is intercepted, but was he in bounds? Yes, Dustin Olczyk, who had key interceptions last week against Toledo, now his third of the year.
Dustin Olczyk coming off the hash in a two-deep coverage now. His job is to get to the sideline and prevent this ball batted away. He does get his foot down. A beautiful job of defense, and I promise you, Robbie Haas did not think he could get there. He just thought this guy can't run that fast. A nice job of anticipation, taking the ball away from Joe Chappell, number 10.
Fourth interception on the year for Haas, second of the game. He came off the bench and was red hot through the touchdown pass, but now it's been all downhill since, and right to the air, back to Sam Hurd. Hurd hauls it in and falls down at about the 2-yard line.
Turf Monster got him. He is so angry. He wanted that touchdown. Louis Delmas simply blew the coverage. This is what happens with young players. Delvin's is going to be a really good player, but he comes up, he's going to make the hit here. And of course, it's way too late to recover. And Sam cannot believe that the turf man got his heel.
That turf reached up, grabbed him, and pulled him down, but nonetheless a first and goal. Sam Hurd, big play again. Here's Garrett Wolfe trying to drive those legs forward just short of the goal line. Sam Hurd from San Antonio, Texas. Coach Joe Novak likes what he gets out of him. Now over 60 catches on the year. The last time that a Husky player did that was 4 years ago.
Well, I was down on the field with warm-ups, and Sam Hurd is listed at 6'4". I think he's 6'5". He is a big guy. He is lean, lanky, and he can fly.
Wolfe into the end zone yet again. Third touchdown of the game for Garrett Wolfe.
And needless to say, this is becoming an embarrassment for Western Michigan. Bill Cubitt, the fine head coach that's engineered this turnaround from a 1-10 season a year ago, the second best turnaround in the NCAA, second only to Central Florida this year that was 0-11 a year ago, and the best ever in the MAC, but they're being hammered here today in every way.
Nendick, extra point streak still alive, 89 of his last 89. Garrett Wolfe, camera happy today. Tons of highlights, his third of the day. Huskies roll.
Founded in 1903, Western Michigan University's enrollment has grown to nearly 30,000 students. With more than 260 fields of study and a nationally renowned faculty, Western Michigan is considered one of the nation's top 100 public research universities. Students enjoy an active campus life, including Division I athletics and more than 300 student organizations. Western Michigan, one of the nation's leading student-centered research universities.
Welcome.
Joe Novak up 21 points. He said to us, you know, I've had some great teams through the years here at Northern Illinois, teams that are probably a lot better than this team, but this is the team that has the chance to win a MAC championship, and that means a lot right now.
It has been his passion.
Another strong wind-aided kick. And Western Michigan searching for answers.
Robbie Haas. 4 out of 7, 37 yards. And that 2 INT is what really hurts, Joe.
Had the touchdown pass early on to Scheffler. Since then, 2 costly turnovers and quick strikes from the Huskies. Now back to the running game, just looking to get anything going, and nothing is there. Marty Wilson and Larry English meeting in the backfield. English is 6th tackle for loss on the year, redshirt freshman. They expect really big things from him down the road. Played last year against Maryland to open up the season, then had an ankle injury and was a medical redshirt. So they'll have 3 more years of Larry English ahead of Coach Joe Novak's future.
And Marty Wilson's been out the last 2 or 3 weeks, and they're awfully happy to see him coming back.
Haas pressured again by English, but does get it off to his tight end. And Scheffler is close to a first down. Today, ESPN and ESPN2 has a doubleheader at the EA Sports Maui Invitational. First at 4:30 on ESPN2, number 12 Michigan State takes on a very athletic Arizona team for third place. Then at 10 Eastern, what a great game later on. Number 9 Gonzaga takes on the UConn Huskies, the third-ranked team in the country in the championship game. EA Sports Maui Invitational, part of Feast Week, presented by Lowe's on ESPN and ESPN2. Short of a first down is Riley. Alva Hansbrough came up. Fourth tackle for Hansbrough.
I'll tell you, a name we hadn't called much today is 51 Larry English. Freshman defensive end, and we've got him for 4 tackles unofficially, and when it's going bad, it just gets worse. You got 3rd and short with a chance to convert and get something going, can't get it done. You got penetration, English in the backfield, Hansbrough with a tackle.
Jim Laney punting into the wind, and look at that ball. Had some momentum. Now it takes a fortuitous bounce down to about the 31-yard line, and that's where Northern Illinois will take over a 40-yard punt.
Is that the same as a lucky bounce?
Yeah, it is indeed. Look, there's that wind we talked about just before kickoff. You were down on the field, Coach, and you know it started to kick up, and you came up and said, Joe, this is going to be a factor today.
Very serious wind factor, and you've documented it well. Each one of these punts, if it's with the wind, it looks really good, and against it, it just stops it. It seems to stop it in the air. Joe trying to look worried.
Look at that.
Trying
up
hard.
There 282 total yards. Wolfe and wide receiver Sam Hurd have 250. Wolfe could have a statistical game today that's going to be an all-timer. Nicholson back to the air, and another first down to the 46-yard line. He was able to connect for 15 yards to Jake Nordine, the junior tight end.
Nicholson just amazes me with his maturity and his patience. Nice little fake there. You saw the head turn, the ball went on the hip, made it disappear from the linebackers, and then a perfect throw. Nordine, I've said this 2 or 3 times, he's having a career today, blocking and now catching.
They like him a lot. Here's Garrett Wolfe to the 47-yard line. Jake Nordine, the starting tight end. You know, John Bond, the offensive coordinator for the Huskies, he said, you know, everybody talks about Scheffler and Scheffler on Western Michigan, a very fluid athlete that can do it all. But he thinks Nordine is a real NFL prospect. Soft hands, can run, and an excellent blocker.
I guarantee you both those big guys are going to play a long time. Don't be surprised to see some more play action here. These safeties are flying to the line of scrimmage, trying to be a part of the run defense.
See if they can help out with Garrett Wolfe there, and they do indeed, as he lost yardage. But as you can see, primed for a little play action. C.J. Wilson came up from his free safety spot and was able to get in on that play.
When the free safety's making hits 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, it won't be long till you see that fake into the line and that post pattern by number 84 Hurd again.
Yeah, risk-reward defense being run by Scott Schaefer, his first year at Western Michigan, the defensive coordinator. He was here at Northern Illinois for 4 seasons. He was real honest in telling us, hey, I felt great for these Husky kids when they beat Toledo, but now I want to beat them. Trying to find a way to stop Garrett Wolfe, and he does this time on 3rd down. Barcada Payne, big number 99, able to wrap him up.
But Scott Schaefer actually recruited both Nicholson and Wolfe, and now he's had to play against him, and they have not been nice to him today.
Not at all.
They ain't being real cool to the old coach. Trying to teach him he shouldn't have left them. I think that's probably
friends when zeros are on the clock. But right now it's 28-7. 6.5 minutes to go in this first half. Did Benner to punt. Greg Jennings, the all-everything star for Western Michigan, has been so quiet back to return this one. Short, low liner, almost hit the back of a Western Michigan player, but takes a great bounce inside the 10, all the way down to the 6-yard line. 46-yard punt. Senior day here at Northern Illinois, and Dave Ryan has a very special story with regard to that. Dave?
Joe, so much emotion going into Northern Illinois, the Huskies' last game for their seniors here. Since 2003, Northern Illinois players have worn a 76 sticker on their helmets and patches on their uniforms to honor Shea Fitzgerald, who would have been playing in his final home game today. He was tragically killed in the collapse of a porch during a summer party in Chicago that year. Since then, a glass-encased locker with Shea's complete uniform has been in their locker room. It was just taken out this week, and things were given to his family in a pregame ceremony, Joe. And he was an excellent offensive lineman, and we're told by the coaches a real NFL prospect. What a sad story, but they really turned that around as quite a bit of motivation. Very emotional day in a lot of ways for the Huskies.
Agreed, Dave. A sad story, but I think a really classy way of handling it. Coach Joe Novak and the staff here. Shea Fitzgerald would have been playing in his final home game here. Of course, that was a very well-documented national story, that tragedy on the porch in Chicago. 2nd and 2 here for the Broncos. Haas. There's Greg Jennings. Jennings still shaking loose. And he's out to the 30-yard line.
You get a feeling for why this guy is leading the nation in catches. Look at how easy it is for him just to turn. It's a little button hook route back to the outside. Alva Hansbrough, who very seldom misses the tackle. Jennings is so strong, he just rips away from him. He's like a running back after he gets the football.
2 catches on the day. He just needs 3 more to become the Western Michigan all-time leader. Scheffler to the 35.
Very important for Northern Illinois on defense right now to not get careless. What we saw from Hansbrough, that was Alva, number 11, 2 plays ago with a missed tackle. That's just carelessness. You cannot help it. You look at the scoreboard, you got a big lead, you say, well, we got him now. You don't have him now. An offense like this can come back on you. You got a veteran back there in Haas who's not going to have a bad day all day. He's going to make some good throws, and he's starting to do that now. So Novak justifiably trying to get his defense jacked up a little bit.
Well, I think Joe Novak has done a real good job this year of having a good sense of his team. And he told us yesterday, he said, this isn't the most mature group I've ever had, and there are inconsistencies with this group. And I think you just told the story of that, Coach. Haas back to pass again. He's completed 2 in a row. Pressured this time, but stays up and then just gets rid of it. He was pressured by Marty Wilson. 28-7 Northern Illinois. And if they can hold on to that lead and win this game, then they will win the MAC West. And they will face either Akron or Bowling Green. Of course, Akron-Kent State, the final regular season game in the MAC. That is tomorrow morning, Thanksgiving Day. If Western Michigan can come back and pull this off, Toledo and Bowling Green will play in the MAC championship game. 3rd and 5. Very, very windy here in DeKalb. Haas going to keep it himself, and he's going to have a first down.
Haas's maturity beginning to surface now. It's a very good decision there. A pretty good pass rush again. He does not panic. He doesn't throw the ball away. He just runs straight ahead. And he knows where the first down marker is. And where's number 15, Jennings? Again, he's got a lot of company out there. He's got Jason Hutton fronting him, and he's got a defensive back, Utchik, behind him, and they're going to front and back him. They're going to bracket him all day one way or the other.
Haas swings it out complete. Nothing gained there. Jamarco Simmons.
No, nothing gained, but Haas throwing on rhythm, and Haas getting into his football game now. And things went rough there for a while with the interceptions and throwing the ball up for grabs. And now he's starting to look like the veteran quarterback that he is.
Great turnaround story for Western Michigan. 1-10 last year, and a team that's looking to finish strong here this year. Already 7 wins on the season. Haas lots of time and gets his tight end crossing midfield, and good enough for another first down. Tony Scheffler, 6'6", 260-pound senior. He is a big target. He gets 60 yards a game. He can hurt you every which way.
You watch Scheffler. as he comes across the field. He understands exactly what he's doing. He avoids the linebackers. He's underneath. Again, it's so easy for him to catch the ball. He doesn't battle the football. He just catches it and immediately gets it put away.
Haas working out of the shotgun. They came after him, launches it out of bounds. Aflac trivia question. When did Northern Illinois last win the MAC title?
I know the answer to that.
I'm glad you do. Coach Joe Novak would like to get that MAC title here. You know, it's so interesting because this is a program that has had the wins against the big major conference teams, Alabama and Maryland. But you talk to them, and they're very sincere when they say, that's great, we want to win the MAC.
Yeah, they want this title.
Haas. Scheffler again, trying to get some blocks. And Scheffler is down to the 43-yard line. Zach Holycross was able to take him down.
Watch this big guy, Joe. Watch him catch this football and the adjustments he has to make. Okay, he's the H-back coming across. He makes a hit. The head flips around. Watch this. That's quickness. Change of direction, and then exploding up the field. That is so hard for a 6'6", 260-pound man to do. We're going to watch this guy play a long time. 7
receptions in this first half alone. 5 defensive backs in on 3rd down for Northern Illinois. 5 receivers for Western Michigan. Haas to the air, complete for a 1st down to Joe Chappell.
Now, we pointed out the oddity in Haas's delivery, but what we don't see with Haas is a slow delivery. And there are a lot of quarterbacks. Sonny Jurgensen, for instance, stands out in my memory. A great, great football player many years ago, played for the Washington Redskins. He had a strange delivery, but he could get rid of the ball quickly. So can Robbie Haas. Haas can make the quick throws, the 3-step drops, and they're going to their quick game now, and it's working well for them.
Western Michigan is settled down here on this drive. Riley, what a nice cutback that was. And Trevon Riley with an 11-yard pickup, another 1st down for the Broncos.
Gain of 11 yards.
Riley showing excellent quickness. He does his best Garrett Wolfe impersonation here. Nice job of faking. Look here, to the left. Now he's going to bolt back to the right, plants that foot. Good blocking up front, even with the penetration. And another 1st down for Western Michigan.
Trying to finish strong here. It's been a sensational season for the Broncos, trailing by 21 now in a tough spot at Northern Illinois. Let's head back to the studio and Scott Reese. Scott?
Well, Joe, coming up on the Pontiac Performance halftime report, some resolution to the Terrell Owens situation and a victory across the board for the Philadelphia Eagles. Also, little baseball. The Marlins ready to bid farewell to another high-priced veteran. And we talk plenty of college football. Mark May will look ahead to some of the great rivalries on tap this weekend. It's all coming up on the Pontiac Performance halftime report. Guys?
Look forward to it, Scott. 28-7. Northern Illinois on top. Boy, that T.O. situation would have been awkward if they reinstated him. Imagine him walking back into the locker room with the Eagles. Haas now out of bounds after a 3-yard pickup.
Well, NFL guys are funny about that. If a guy sort of pays his dues and gets embarrassed publicly, and T.O. has certainly been embarrassed, and he's earned every bit of it, a lot of times when you go back in the locker room, the guys are pretty forgiving.
Well, let me ask you this, Coach. How would T.O.
Especially if you can't win a game without him.
How would T.O. have done on the on your Vince Lombardi team back in the day in that locker room?
T.O. would not have been on the Vince Lombardi
exactly. All right, so we have a 3rd down and 7 now. Coach Novak digging in, looking for his defense to make a stop. Western Michigan looking to pick it up, and Tony Scheffler cannot hold on to it. So it'll bring up a 4th down. Coverage by Jason Hutton on the play from 185 to another.
They will go for this, and that's surprising. That's the first time I've seen Scheffler when he looked awkward. They're going to take the timeout and talk it over, come up with the best possible play. Coach Cubitt over here. First time Scheffler has proven he is a human being. He should have handled that ball, and he might have been able to rip away and make the 1st.
Aflac trivia question we asked you earlier. When did Northern Illinois last win the MAC title? Coach Curry?
1983.
Ding, ding, ding. I'm going to give you a fresh turkey for that one.
That's when you were about 6 years old.
Yeah, I
Joe.
wish, yeah. Coach Joe Novak was the defensive coordinator back then.
That's when I think Bill Mallory was the head coach here, a great football coach. And Joe Novak then went to Indiana and was the defensive coordinator for Bill there.
Was indeed. There is a look at that D-court back then, 83, last time the Huskies won the MAC title. Tim Terrell, Kirk Partridge, the wide receiver, Darrell Richardson, the running back, and they beat Ohio 41-17 and clinched the conference title. And they may be doing some celebrating a week from now. They need to hold on here, win today, get themselves up to the MAC championship game, and they will be in business. 4th down and 7 for the Broncos. Haas has time, fires it off. It was intended for Simmons, but it falls incomplete, out of bounds, and the Huskies will take over.
That was a very big series for both these teams. So many times you see what looks to be a rout in progress, something like 28-7, and if the team that's down can get it in the end zone right before the half, it changes everything, momentum, everything. Haas with a good opportunity to make the throw here and just does not connect. Jamarco Simmons on the attempt, and it just was not a good throw. It was wobbly.
So Garrett Wolfe and company back on the field after their defense bent but didn't break. Is that a live ball? It is indeed. Heads up play by Western Michigan's Amir Ishmael. As the pass was swung out, was a lateral. Northern Illinois just stopped playing. It was intended for Britt Davis. He didn't handle it, and the Broncos jump all over it.
And look, watch Western quickly line up and try to kick the extra point.
Of course, they don't want the replay.
Joe's going to call the timeout to get this thing looked at. I could not tell whether it was a backward pass or not. But Britt Davis was absolutely negligent. Number 7, Britt Davis, of course, that's part of being a freshman. The ball goes out of his hands. He's got to jump on this. It was a backward pass. You watch where the quarterback's feet were. Britt does not realize that that ball is live. Amir Ishmael certainly realized it. He plucks it, runs it in the end zone, and just what we were talking about.
Here's a real good look here, as you can see with the side view. Does that pass go forward at all?
That's a backward pass.
Then it's a live ball.
Nicholson's foot is on the line. The ball is thrown and touches the hands of Davis behind the line. So they may look at it, and they're supposed to look at every single play, and they may see it a little differently than I do, but I'll promise you from what we just saw, that is a backward pass, and it is a touchdown for Western Michigan.
Take another look moments ago. As Amir Ishmael playing smart, heads up football.
Okay, replays are about lines and possession. Okay, you can look at that line, the 20-yard line, look at the foot of the quarterback, Nicholson, and the ball is actually touched about a yard behind it. Here's the call. We can't hear it.
Incomplete. 2nd down. Wow. What a break for the Huskies. Referee Thomas McCabe looks it over and says this ball was a forward pass. Let's take another look. I think this is the best angle, Coach.
Yeah, I think so too. Watch where Nicholson's foot is and watch where the ball goes after he throws it. Well, they get paid to do that, and I get paid to do this, and I respectfully disagree, but Joe Novak is a very happy man right now.
So instead of a touchdown for Western Michigan, it's simply 2nd down for Garrett Wolfe and the Huskies offense.
Now, Joe, would you like to make a small wager as to whether we see any more flat passes or any swing passes before the half?
I think that's out of the
we may not
playbook.
see another one today. I couldn't believe they threw the thing when they did. And I imagine Joe wasn't consulted, and there may be a conversation at the halftime with John Bond.
So our score is still a 21-point margin as we're here in the final minute of this first half. Garrett Wolfe, 145 yards rushing for the Huskies. 3rd and 5. Wolfe to the left side, first down. Antoine Allen was able to take him down, his 6th tackle. But Garrett Wolfe picks up the first down.
They got the whole crowd shouting first down. That's the first time I've ever seen that. I kind of like that, especially if you're making a lot of first downs.
152 yards on the day for Garrett Wolfe. 325 is the school record that he holds. That's just a point to keep him in the game if they maintain this kind of offensive line play and lead.
The big guys up front are doing a terrific job blocking, as we pointed out again and again.
So Coach Joe Novak halfway home to a division title. It's been a great year for Bill Cubitt and Western Michigan, but a real uphill battle here today. Garrett Wolfe, 152 yards, 28-7. Now, here's Scott Reese with the Pontiac halftime report.
All right, Joe, lots of college football to discuss in the coming minutes. We'll bring in Mark May for some analysis of some of the great rivalry games on tap for this coming weekend. But first, news from the National Football League, and finally, some resolution to the Terrell Owens situation. Arbiter ruled in favor of the Philadelphia Eagles across the board, upholding Owens' 4-game suspension and giving Philly the right to keep Owens on the roster and inactive for the remainder of this season. So essentially, once again, a complete and utter victory for the team. Also, baseball news, the Marlins have finalized an agreement to send Carlos Delgado to the Mets in exchange for Mike Jacobs and prospect Yusmeiro Petit, this pending physicals and final financial details, but it looks like Delgado is heading to the Big Apple. Just getting started here on the Pontiac Performance Halftime Report. We'll talk about some of the big games on tap this coming weekend. Mark May joins us with Georgia Tech discussion on the flip side.
College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, Saturdays at 10:30 on ESPN.
Holiday spirit. Just one more thing to love about Outback, where you can enjoy favorites like canned citrus chicken and Hearts of Gold bronze filet. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
For 3 days in November, 2 conferences lay it all on the line.
Never count them out, ever.
When it's over, only one will reign supreme. ESPN presents the Big Ten ACC Challenge. Don't miss 2 of the nation's strongest conferences in a one-of-a-kind early season clash. The Big Ten ACC Challenge, presented by Cisco Systems. The battle begins Monday and continues through Wednesday on ESPN and ESPN2.
A lesson for parents about the power of your cable remote. Yes, you can surf the channels with it. But did you know? The cable remote can help control what your children watch. It's pretty easy. First hit Menu or Settings, then scroll through the on-screen options to set your password. Finally, block the programming by channel or rating. And talk to your children about why certain programs are not for them. Set your parental controls. It's easy. For more details on parental controls and tools, go to controlyourtv.org.
See it, try it, experience it. The latest products from Comcast now on display at Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg. See the difference Comcast digital cable makes. Try the always-on blazing fast speed of Comcast high-speed internet. Experience the incredible picture clarity of Comcast high-definition TV. Our friendly product specialist will assist you as you test drive Comcast products and services. Visit our sales center in the center atrium of Woodfield Mall and check out the latest in home entertainment from Comcast. Welcome to the Pontiac Performance Halftime Report.
Garrett Wolfe with 3 touchdowns in the first half for the Huskies of Northern Illinois, and they are well in command. 28-7 over Western Michigan at the break. Welcome back inside the Pontiac Performance halftime report. Some great rivalry games last week and more to come this week. And for analysis, we bring in Mark May. And Mark, let's start with Georgia and Georgia Tech. And first of all, the Yellow Jackets have done some things this season. We take a look at the resume, if you will, of Georgia Tech thus far, ending Auburn's 15-game win streak. They beat Miami, top 12 nationally in total defense. Your thoughts on this game as it unfolds?
Well, it's going to come down to defense again in this game, and Georgia Tech is led by defense, and their defensive coordinator, John Tenuta, has done an outstanding job with this defense, getting them ready to play. Against Miami, he had a variety of blitzes and stunts to get the quarterback Kyle Wright and harass Kyle Wright, and I think that was key in this game. And bottom line, when you look in this game, the way that they played up front, Michael Hall getting to the quarterback, the rest of the defense stopping the run. Eric Henderson also putting pressure on the quarterback. He's got a ton of talent with this entire defense. And Scott, if you break down this defense the way they played against Miami, shutting down the passes, stuffing the run, they held the Miami Hurricane offense to just 30 total rush yards in this game and 237 total yards. But going against Georgia, they have to come with the same level of intensity as they played against Miami because Georgia has a different quarterback. If you look at Miami, Kyle Wright's more of a pocket quarterback. You look at Georgia, you've got DJ Shockley, a veteran quarterback that's been around, that's very mobile, and now, off the knee injury, he's about 100% for the first time in about a month.
And you saw in that graphic there, Georgia Tech, one of just 6 teams that's going bowling for the 9th consecutive season. Moving on, Mayday to Texas against Texas A&M, and this huge game on several levels, and not just the BCS ramifications that surround the Longhorns.
And it's an interstate rivalry, obviously, Texas and Texas A&M, but this game's also going to come down to defense. Gene Chizik, the defensive coordinator of Texas, he hadn't lost a game in about 2 years because he was the defensive coordinator of Auburn last year. They didn't lose a game, but it's their defensive front that's very good. Roderick Wright and company, they're big, they're physical. They can get to the quarterback and stuff to the run without any help. And in defensive secondary, they're just as quick. But breaking this game down, it's going to come down to the athleticism of Vince Young making plays offensively. He'll be able to do that. And defensively, they've just been too stout. And here's the key on their defense, what Chizik usually likes to do. He rotates a lot of players. That keeps them fresh. They're very deep on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, Mark, you talk about Vince Young, who is clearly one of the biggest stars in the land at the collegiate level. His coach spoke the other day about his prospects for achieving that stardom at the next level.
The thing that's amazed me most about Vince, even though we've all watched him grow as a player, and I think we're seeing one of the great players to ever play at the University of Texas and maybe college football before he finishes, and I do think he'll be a Hall of Famer in the NFL if he stays healthy and can keep working like he is.
So how about that, Mark? Is Coach Mack Brown calling him a Hall of Famer in the NFL before he ever plays a game in the professional ranks? Your thoughts?
Well, Scott, I kind of agree with him because if you look at what he can do, he's 6'4", 225 pounds, has a cannon for an arm, and can run like a deer, and can make plays. And what's impressive about Vince Young this past year in the offseason, he studied a lot of film work, broke down a lot of defenses. He called his players and teammates in and told those guys, if you want to win and you want to go to Ohio State and beat them, you come and you work out with me early in the morning and late at night. That's a sign of a true leader. But looking at the NFL, I believe he'll be a top 5 pick when he comes out. The reason why? The NFL right now, it is a quarterback-poor league. Look at the New York Jets. They're down to their 3rd and 4th quarterback. Look across the league, the landscape of the league. There are about 5 or 6 or 7 top-flight quarterbacks, but the rest of the quarterbacks are very average. Vince Young comes out tomorrow. He's a starter in the NFL by the end of the week.
Does Vince Young come out this year?
I think he should, but he probably won't. If he does not win the Heisman, I think he comes back. He wants a chance for a national championship. If they don't win the national championship this year, I think he'll come back next year, win the Heisman, and win a national championship. But if he does come out this year, he will be a top 5 pick.
Speaking of Heisman candidates, Mark, Reggie Bush put on quite a show last weekend against Fresno State. Almost 600 total yards, rushing, receiving, returning kicks. This guy was absolutely awesome. And at this point, do they need to bring more than one player to New York for the Heisman Award?
Yes, they do, because you have to bring up a lot of players. I think they should bring in at least 5 players. Obviously, they're going to bring in Matt Leinart and Vince Young. I think Brady Quinn has a shot of going. Drew Olson, the quarterback of UCLA. They should bring in 5, but right now, Reggie Bush is the front runner in my mind. When I make my vote on the Heisman Trophy, I'm going to wait till the end of the season until all the games are played. But if it was made today, it would be Reggie Bush #1, Vince Young #2. The way that he played against Fresno State, the way that he played against Notre Dame, the way that he played against Arizona State, he's the type of player that every time he touches the ball, he gives you that wow factor. He is the best player, without a doubt, in the nation.
If you're in the Reggie Bush camp, Mark, any concern about the possibility of the old split vote with Leinart and Bush?
I don't think so. After the way he played against Fresno State, I think he will get a lot of the first-place votes and the second-place votes. Matt Leinart will probably get a lot of the second- and third-place votes on the West Coast. But if you look at the entire nation, I think Vince Young will get a lot of votes. But I think the way that Reggie Bush has played in the big games, the national exposure, the huge plays he's made, and people realize without him, USC wouldn't be undefeated.
All right, Mark May, don't move a muscle. We'll get back to you in just a bit, talk about the backyard brawl. And plenty more to come here on the Pontiac Performance Halftime Report. Garrett Wolfe eating up Western Michigan 28-7 at the break.
The Pontiac Performance Halftime Report is powered by Pontiac. Nominate your game-changing performance at ESPN.com. Keyword Pontiac.
It happens at every NCAA football game.
Looks for Johnson. Up top. Intercepted. And North Carolina State is going to win the game. Unbelievable interception.
See a game-changing performance nominated at Pontiac.com/NCAA. You could help an NCAA school earn over $100,000 in scholarship contributions from Pontiac.
Mario Manningham, and Michigan will win.
Pontiac, official performance machines of the NCAA.
You see him in your rearview mirror, and suddenly you're the world's best driver. You hit the brakes, hang up the cell phone, use your turn signal. Sound familiar? Allstate knows there's a good driver in each of us. A police car shouldn't be the only thing that brings it out. So Allstate cuts safe drivers a break, up to 20%. Reward works better than punishment. That's Allstate stand. Are you in good hands?
Welcome back to the Pontiac Performance Halftime Report.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Halftime Report. I am Scott Reese. In case you missed our top story at this hour, some resolution to the Terrell Owens situation as arbitrator Richard Block ruled in favor of the Philadelphia Eagles. Owens' 4-game suspension is upheld, and he can remain inactive on the Eagles roster for the remainder of this season. Sal Palantonio breaks it all down.
The ruling by the NFL arbitrator is an across-the-board win for the Philadelphia Eagles by upholding the 4-game suspension through the game against the Packers on Sunday and then allowing the Eagles to determine Terrell Owens' status through the remainder 5 games of the 2005 season. The Eagles prevailed in this entire process. For 14 hours on Friday, the arbitrator heard testimony from both sides and determined that Terrell Owens' conduct was detrimental to the team and that the Eagles had just cause to do what they did. The reaction from the Eagles here at the NovaCare facility was pretty swift, but very measured. As one senior official told me, we do not want to be going around high-fiving each other. It's still a very sad day for this organization. The reaction from the Players Association is obviously very disappointed. I talked to a senior official within the Players Association who said that the 38-page ruling will be dissected by counsel over the next 3 days, and after the holiday weekend, they will decide how to advise Terrell Owens on where to go from here. But according to that official, it doesn't look good that Owens can file another grievance after the Packers game to try to get back onto the field once again.
All right, Sal, thank you. It's halftime at Northern Illinois, and the Huskies with a 28-7 lead over Western Michigan. More from the studio coming right up.
Do Nikon people take better vacations? Or does the Nikon D50 just make it look that way? The digital SLR the world's been waiting for is here. The affordable new Nikon D50 makes taking incredible digital pictures so incredibly easy. Just about anyone can do it.
This winter, the critics are raving. You're gonna love this. Move over, Bad Santa.
Yo ho ho!
John Cusack and Billy Bob Thornton have a special holiday treat. It's wickedly hilarious. Don't poke. From the director of Groundhog Day and Caddyshack, The Ice Harvest, rated R.
At Ruby Tuesday, there's a burger just spicy enough, some may be too chicken to try it. The Buffalo and Blue Chicken Burger, one of 36 famous burgers only at Ruby Tuesday. So...
That is gorgeous. Is that new?
Yes, it is. I love it. He went to Jared.
Oh, Jared. Oh, I love this.
Oh, thank you. He went to Jared.
Oh, these? Mm-hmm.
He went to
Jared. Oh, of course he did.
From 14 to 18 karat, classic to contemporary, Jared simply offers more distinctive gold jewelry, which makes it easy to speak the language of gold.
Oh, hi, honey.
Fortunately, there's a Jared near you.
What?
Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry.
How would you like to win a new iPod? Future Vision Laser Center is proud to announce blade-free LASIK starting at only $2.99 per eye and never more than $9.99 per eye. For the ultimate in LASIK technology, Intralace. No blades, no cutting. And the ultimate in financing, too. No interest, no money down, and no payments for 18 months. And to celebrate this incredible offer, we're giving away a state-of-the-art iPod. Just visit our website at glassesfree.com to register to win. Call 1-877-EYES to see you.
The Pontiac Performance Halftime Report is powered by Pontiac. Nominate your game-changing performance at ESPN.com. Keyword Pontiac.
Pitt, West Virginia. Some call it the backyard brawl. Panthers trying to become bowl eligible. Mountaineers trudging on toward what they hope will be a Big East Conference title. Check it out. Thursday. That would be Thanksgiving Day. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time. And right on cue, we bring back Mark May, who played in a few of these backyard brawls. And Mark, what is Pitt going to have to do to spring the holiday upset tomorrow?
Well, they're going to have to get Tyler Palco to throw the ball a little bit better and execute their offense and throw the ball vertically. And their defense has played fairly well this year, but that's the only way they're going to win this game. They're going to have to throw the ball, and they're going to have to score and get the ball to their fantastic wide receiver, Greg Lee.
Mark, you have a favorite memory from the backyard brawls that you played in?
Yeah, Scott, we won all 4 of them that I played in.
Well, that's easy.
Yeah, but besides that, you know, the song Country Roads Take Me Home? Well, when you're playing at Pittsburgh, guess what? You hear it every single day that week during practice, in the training table, in the locker room, in the shower room, at training table when you're eating, on the field of play. I can recite every word of that song because it's ingrained in me now. And by the time you get to West Virginia and you play the West Virginia Mountaineers, you hate that song because they play that song in the stadium. And every time they score, the big guy comes out with a musket, boom, he shoots it off. Those are the 2 things that I remember about the rivalry. One, it's a tremendous rivalry.
Boy,
and 2, that's true. John Denver, no disrespect, but I do never want to hear that song again the rest of my life.
That is tremendous, and apparently the incentive worked if you won all 4 of them, huh?
Absolutely. It did work because we went down there, we won 2 there, and we won 2 at home, but it's a great rivalry. It's one of those rivalries that it's the best in the conference right now in the Big East Conference because there's been so much transition in the conference. But if you go back, it's almost 100 years long, and it's a border war between Pennsylvania, West Virginia. They just don't like each other.
All right, and of course, huge for Pittsburgh. A win gets them bowl eligible. Mark May, we appreciate your time, and we'll check you back here in Bristol tomorrow.
You got it.
Our score at halftime, 28-7. Garrett Wolfe, 3 touchdowns for Northern Illinois. Back with his second half kickoff right after this.
One car was ranked most appealing entry midsize by J.D. Power and Associates and earned Strategic Vision's Total Quality Award. It wasn't a Toyota or Honda. It was the Pontiac G6 sedan, designed to be one of the best cars in the world. And now, we've created another, the new 240 horsepower G6 Coupe. Now during the Pontiac Red Tag event, G6 starts at $15,932. The price on the tag is the price you pay, not a penny more.
This is astounding. 7 medals in a row. What's his secret? What's he doing so differently?
Still going. Energizer. Keeps going and going and going and going.
With the push of a button, I lowered my energy bill. That was too easy.
Nobody's doing more to save you money on your monthly energy bills than the Home Depot. You'll find over 1,800 innovative products, many with the Energy Star label, all designed to save you money. Learn how to lower your energy bills even more at our free November energy clinics and with our online energy savings guide.
At the Home Depot, you can do it. We can help.
Coach Joe Novak halfway home to a MAC West Division title. 28-7 our score. Joe Tessitore and Coach Bill Curry with you. Glad you can join us here day before Thanksgiving, feast week on ESPN. And I'll tell you what, that Huskies offense, especially the running game, was feasting on Western Michigan's defense. But early on, interesting development. Western Michigan loses their starting quarterback, Tim Hiller. Looked to be a severe right leg injury. They don't disclose the medical status here. But then Tony Scheffler pulls in the touchdown catch from Robbie Haas. Then Mr. Wolfe starts barking.
Mr. Wolfe just gobbled up the defense of Western Michigan. He has 156 yards in the first half. Here's Jennings, the great wide receiver for Western. He's being bracketed. And the great wide receiver on the other side of the ball, Sam Hurd, is just catching one ball after another, taking it away from people. Beautiful throws by Dan Nicholson, the freshman quarterback, and it just went their way. Talking about the Huskies in the first half.
Intel first half stats. Rushing yards tells a big part of the story. 180 to 40, 309 total yards for the Huskies. 16 first downs to 9 first downs.
9.5 yards on first down for average.
That's
Northern
amazing.
Illinois. I'm not sure I've seen that kind of stat in a long time, but if you're making almost a first down every time you run the football or throw it on first down, then you're going to roll.
Of course, we told you so much about the wide receivers. Greg Jennings is the leader in the nation in terms of receptions per game, but he only has 2 today for 28 yards. Meanwhile, going deep to Sam Hurd, they've cashed in 3 for 107 and a touchdown. So Western Michigan, they deferred after winning the toss, so they will get the ball here to start things off. And the wind has been blowing left to right all day long, and thus another touchback.
I mean, that was a serious touchback. That thing was kicked. That was kicked in the grass behind the goalpost. Chris Nendick just having a heck of a day kicking off.
A look at the quarterback comparison. Haas, who came in early after the injury, 12 of 20, 102 yards, 2 costly interceptions. Nicholson 6 of 10 for a touchdown. Nicholson has the luxury of the play action because they're bringing so many guys up into the box to defend Garrett Wolfe.
He'll keep doing that.
To the ground game goes Western Michigan. Let's check in with Dave Ryan. Dave?
All right, well, Joe Novak said, the head coach of Northern Illinois, after the Amir Ismail touchdown return for Western was called back because the officials overruled that first call made on the field. That really helped with momentum. I asked him why in the world Garrett Wolfe was able to go through with so many yards in the first half. He said a lot of blitzing from Western Michigan. That was a big factor. Opened up some lanes, but it was the great work of the offensive line of Coach Curry. I know you're happy to hear that. It was the center, right?
The center was at the middle of things, yes.
Dave Ryan knows you very well.
You guys are all over me today. All I did was point out the good blocks, that's all.
Holman with the tackle on Haas that time.
Van Acker just happens to be the best athlete on the field. He's the center.
He's gone from the smartest player to the best athlete on the field.
Well, that too.
It'll be a 3rd down and 5 for the Broncos. It's been a great turnaround for Western Michigan. 1 win last year. Came against a 1AA team. Now 7 wins this year. Haas has time and has his target. It's Chappell for a first down.
Seriously, what Northern Illinois must do coming out here to start this second half, if they're going to finish this job, and you see a sort of an anxious expression on Joe Novak's face, they need to come out here and play the kind of defense they played for most of the first half and not let Western have any hope. Don't let them drive the ball on you. Don't let them string together first downs. They did not enjoy good field position the first half. You have to keep the hammer down if you want to finish the job and get in that championship game, and that's their big objective.
Riley, nothing doing this time. Tim MacArthur, Western Michigan, the turnaround. You know, they come in 30-year intervals. In 1975, the Broncos were 1-10. The 76 team went 7-4. And just like this year, that team, second most improved team in all of college football. This year's team is Greg Jennings. Back in 76, they had Jerome Purcell, who ran for 1,500 yards, second only to Tony Dorsett. And now Bill Cubitt has the turnaround working here. 2004, 1 win, and now 7 wins this year. Winless in the MAC last year. Look at the damage they've done in conference play. Incomplete, intended for Jennings. In terms of turnarounds this year, well, what, I mean, Central Florida. The job that George O'Leary has done, just sensational. A difference of 8 wins, but Western Michigan, plus 6.5.
And who's the old guy at Penn State?
I don't know. Who is that guy with 6
anymore.
better wins than last year?
Can't coach anymore. It's too bad about Joe Pa. Can't do it. What a great job. What a great job to teach that tenacity that he's always had.
In the mix for Coach of the Year, as is O'Leary. Incomplete on 3rd down. He had Scheffler crossing and Jennings behind him, and it fell between the 2 star offensive players. Bill Cubitt, not satisfied there, brings up a 4th down.
Scheffler hurt Northern Illinois in the first half, and now he's drawing double coverage. He's got a linebacker running in front of him. That's Ray Smith, 48, behind him. Now, you couldn't see 33, Keenan Blaylock, but he was in front of him, and it forced a bad throw.
Strong punt by Laney into the wind, and it takes a good bounce. Chatone Powers fields it, and Northern Illinois will start their second half from the 32-yard line. Dan Nicholson, the freshman quarterback, he's got the Huskies going strong. We'll see what it can do next.
Tonight, Feast Week heats up. On ESPN2, the NIT season tip-off continues with a semifinal doubleheader. At 7, top-ranked Duke beats Drexel, followed by UCLA and Memphis. At 11:30, USC faces Oral Roberts at the Great Alaska Shootout. On ESPN, Gonzaga and Connecticut clash in the EA Sports Maui Invitational Championship. It's all on tonight. For all the latest all the time, turn to ESPN News.
Celebrate the power and control of the Audi A6 at the 25 Years of Quattro event. Take a test drive today.
Some beers are big on flavor. Some beers are easy to drink. But until now, no beer has offered it all. Budweiser Select starts with hand-picked American and Bavarian hops. Budweiser Select is brewed longer for a bold taste that finishes clean. With Budweiser Select, it all comes together. Expect everything.
Give your loved ones the gift of health this season at the GNC For You For Me holiday sale. Get 50% off select items. Purchase $25 worth of GNC gift cards and get a free tote bag. Purchase $75 worth of gift cards and get a free massager. Friday through Monday at GNC.
What do you do when he's hungry for meat lovers, she wants a Supreme, and you want your favorite? Well, Pizza Hut's got the answer. The new More for All pizza. An extra large pizza topped any 4 ways you want for just $13.99. More for me, more for you, more for all.
the Barcema Alumni Center here at Northern Illinois University, a beautiful site. Many beautiful sites here in DeKalb.
There are.
Especially years ago when Cindy Crawford was a resident of the town.
How would you know? Were you here? They got beautiful buildings now. It's not the same.
Not at all. So Garrett Wolfe, the star running back in that lone back position, trying to build on his 156 yards with a 21-point lead. And he does so out to the 37-yard line. We are here at Northern Illinois for this game, which will determine the MAC West Division. Coach Joe Novak trying to secure that. If Northern Illinois wins, his team will go to the championship game. Garrett Wolfe has been sensational, 161 yards and 3 touchdowns today. And freshman Dan Nicholson in control, just maintaining things with this 21-point lead. Nice to play out in front and nice to hand off to this guy. Garrett Wolfe has another first down. Varkadapan with the tackle. Garrett Wolfe just, we talked about the fact he's not back to 100%. Well, if this isn't 100%, watch out when he is healthy.
Well, it's really not 100%. And the fine running back, Riley, for Western Michigan, really having a tough time against the Northern Illinois defense. And Wolfe, who was averaging considerably more than 6 yards per carry, is against a little bit stiffer defense here in the second half.
Now here's play action to Chatone Powers, just off his fingertips.
I got to tell you, this guy Nicholson can really throw the football. That was a great throw. That's a wind in your face is one thing. Wind behind you is almost as difficult for quarterbacks to deal with. They end up overthrowing everything. He just makes one beautiful throw after another. Chatone Powers almost comes down with it. Again, excellent coverage, a really good future for Western Michigan with these young defensive backs. Kennard Banks there, again, with the good coverage.
Well, Phil Horvath was the starting quarterback, a junior. He went out with an injury, and Nicholson has come in, and he's been great. In fact, in terms of physical assets, Nicholson, probably the superior quarterback. They say is a strong arm, a quick release, real tough kid from the south side of Chicago. He's going to be around for a long time here. Redshirt freshman Dan Nicholson, bright future here at Northern Illinois. Of course, with all due respect to the quarterback, if there's one thing Northern Illinois' bread and butter is, it's the running game. 7 straight years with a 1,000-yard rusher. It makes life real easy on a quarterback like Nicholson.
But Joe Novak understands modern football, and he has a very sophisticated passing attack. He's not just a guy who runs the football and, oh, by the way, throws a few.
Going to throw here on 3rd and 6. And he gets it out to the big tight end, and a nice downfield block by Sam Hurd opens things up, and Jake Nordine has a first down, a pickup of 19 yards into Broncos territory.
Look at the poise of the young quarterback in the pocket. You just count how many seconds, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds he sits back there. He's got pressure from Ishmael, and he delivers the football. He finds the open man. There's a busted coverage. There should have been somebody in the area. Nordine down the field for the first down.
So here come the Huskies again. Wolfe to the right side, cuts back. Wolfe to the open field, inside the 10-yard line, and did he get in? No, just short of his 4th touchdown of the day, a 32-yard carry for Wolfe, and they are knocking on the door. Let's see if they give it to him and he can get number 4.
Antoine Allen might want to go back up to about the 15-yard line and pick up a piece of his equipment that he left right there. And of course, this guy would do it. Garrett Wolfe could do it to any of us. You just can't tackle him by yourself in the open field. Let's see if, look at him lower the shoulder and try to stay in bounds to see if he gets in the end zone. He did not. Good call by the official.
Now he will.
I think he's got in there.
Walking in. Garrett Wolfe 4 touchdowns on the day.
What's happening in terms of defensive theory, and we could go all across the board. At time, Ben Luke blocked on Paul Mersch, number 95, and he's the war daddy of Western Michigan, and he just got caved down inside that time. Everybody has a gap responsibility. What's happening is with the stunts and the defenses Western's using, they're being denied their gaps, and they're just gaping holes for Northern to run through.
90 straight extra points for Chris Nendick. 35-7. The little man with the big runs. He works hard, and then he gets the payoff. Garrett Wolfe, 1-yard score, his 4th of the day. 35-7 Huskies.
You gotta stop playing these exams the way you play football. Teamwork is cheating. Code is not about winning. It's about the truth.
Code Breakers, an ESPN original movie, Saturday, December 10th at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
College Game Day, built by the Home Depot. Saturdays at 10:30 on ESPN.
And I would do anything for love. Oh, I would do anything for love. Oh, I would do anything for love. But I won't do that. No, 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 I won't do that. I would do anything for love, anything you.
Fall in love with the rich, bold flavor, Dr. Pepper. One taste, and you get it.
In a straight sprint, most performance cars perform equally well. But the world isn't straight, which is why the Audi A4 is available with Quattro all-wheel drive. Celebrate the power and control of the Audi A4 at the 25 Years of Quattro event. Take a test drive today.
You guys have to go everywhere with me?
Tom, we're figurative metaphors.
What?
We represent the 5 layers of Visa security that surround you in a pocket of protection.
Hi there. Like fraud monitoring? Verified by Visa.
Zero liability.
Metaphors.
With Visa, you're protected.
Can metaphors pay?
No.
Ringtone. Do you want me to sing?
Just a good old boys, never meaning no harm. Beats all you ever saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. I love it. That's my theme song.
ESPN2's College Football, brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, one taste and you get it. And Audi, leading the way with road-gripping Quattro all-wheel drive. It's greater to lead than follow.
Garrett Wolfe, what a day. Northern Illinois, 35-7. Early on here in the second half, 205 yards, and he's just coming off his 4th touchdown earned after a 7-play drive.
And this is a defense that is dedicated 9 men to stopping the run, and you consider yourself to really just think about passing the ball most of the time in the modern era, but not Joe Novak. He's going to come out and see if he can run the football. And by golly, they've done it, and they've averaged 9.5 yards on first down. That was at the end of the first half.
Nendick to kick again. Another touchback. The wind swirling here today. A lot to be thankful for if you're an NIU fan, like your head coach. Dave Ryan has more.
Well, Joe, no doubt about it. Joe Novak, the head coach in Northern Illinois, just came over to the offensive line of Garrett Wolfe, who just scored another touchdown for the Huskies and said, I want 2 more, please. 2 more touchdowns to put this game away. Guys, his message to me at halftime, in addition to talking about the great Garrett Wolfe, was, I want to tell my team it's a 0-0 game. We cannot get too overconfident. Now, I did speak with Bill Cubit on the other side for Western. He said we had a lot of breakdowns in that first half against Garrett Wolfe. That continued against the pass and the run in that first Northern Drive in the second half, guys.
Rhino, quite an understatement from Cuban. Some breakdowns against Garrett Wolfe. Haas now gets some positive yardage. You know, there's been so much talk about Bill Snyder recently retiring and the rebuilding job he did. Yes, on the BCS major level. But on the mid-major level, Coach, what a job that Novak did from the mid-90s.
Nobody has done a better job than Joe Novak. Bill Snyder and Joe Novak have done the finest jobs that I know of in the last 20 years. Look at this record. This was 3-30 after 3 years. And people looking at you, laughing at you, telling you that you're foolish to even be in coaching. And look at the program that Joe Novak and his staff have built here. The other thing is, as he began to have great success, he lost one effective assistant coach after another, and he's been able to reload with fine coaches. They've recruited well. He's just done an incredible job. Look at his record at home since the year 2000. And this is for a program that couldn't win a game back in the mid-90s. The guy's a great football coach. That's the only way to say it.
And in both cases, both Kansas State and Northern Illinois, you got to give credit to the administration for sticking through and making the commitment and believing in these guys and their master plan, and watch how they work it. Here's 3rd and 6 for the Broncos. Pressured again is Haas. Now he's going to run it, and he's taken down short of a first down. Keenan Blaylar made the tackle. It'll be a 4th down for Western Michigan. And you can see now, boy, that is, you talk about a worst case scenario, Robbie Haas limping off the field after Tim Hiller left with a right leg injury very early on in this game.
You just don't want to see that. You don't want to see anybody get hurt, and it's just been an amazing run of injuries for Western Michigan at the quarterback position.
Powers back to field this one that goes out of bounds. There's Robbie Haas. He has struggled after that first touchdown pass, and now banged up. Huskies will have the ball when we come back.
Do Nikon people take better vacations? Or does the Nikon D50 just make it look that way? The digital SLR the world's been waiting for is here. The affordable new Nikon D50 makes taking incredible digital pictures so incredibly easy, just about anyone can do it.
Did you feel that? Something is coming. A force from overseas, perhaps? A new competitor? Or change itself? Can't you feel it?
Hey, what's that, Arthur?
Am I alone in this?
Change is coming. IBM Business Consulting helps you manage it.
Singular customers, text City to 243 to download the Coming to Your...
Before you buy, come see the Castle Guy.
I drive a lot, 365 days a year. The Audi S4 is a great vehicle for Chicago. It's extremely dependable. The all-wheel drive looks perfect. I've become a confirmed Audi owner, and it's a pleasure to deal with Laura Audi Westmont. They're the best I've ever dealt with any car I've ever had. They treat me like a rock star. They really want to take care of you. They want to make sure that you're happy. I'm Frank Mungo. Laura Audi of Westmont is just a fantastic experience.
Your order.
Welcome back to ESPN2's college football presented by Nikon. Mid-American Conference matchup. Western Michigan trailing Northern Illinois. Some students stuck around for the big finale to see if they could win the MAC West.
Those are the ones that should have gone home.
That's it.
Put a shirt on, kid.
Fumbled snap here. Western Michigan claiming that they've jumped on it, and they have.
Now, Joe, I've seen 1,000 football games, many of which were out of hand or seemed to be out of hand, and one little mistake like that, carelessness, you come out on the field, you think you just got everything rolling, you get just a little bit complacent, and the ball goes on the ground. This is the second time there's been a missed exchange today. And this is something where there's people tripping over each other. Even Hoke was trying to come across with some sort of block, and he knocks the ball out of Nicholson's hand. It goes on the ground, and now they've lost the football. And I'll promise you, look at Joe Novak. He knows if you let Western score right here, and we could very easily have a football game on our hands.
That was Matt Ludeman, the defensive end, who came up with the recovery there for the Broncos. He's like the poster child for that defense. Here's Riley. First down run for Riley. Nice pickup of 10 yards. Ludeman, number 97, who had that fumble recovery. Scott Schaefer, the defensive coordinator, says that this is a guy that's not fast. He's not big, but he gives us everything he can give us. And that's typical of this rebuilding situation at Western Michigan. They know there's some areas where they lack certain athleticism and talent, but they want guys that have bought into the system and believe and give 100% effort.
Well, I already said this earlier, but I was down there during warm-up, and Ludeman looked pretty good to me. He's pretty big and looks pretty active and quick.
Riley again, looking for a hole, not finding much room there. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage and maybe fumbled the ball because Ken West has come out of the pile with it, but they're saying it's second down.
Yeah, and the Northern Illinois coaches are out on the field, and they're about to get a warning here shortly.
Think Joe Novak's fired up?
Joe really, really wants to win this game. Not that he doesn't want to win all of them, but this is the biggest game. He conceded that the win at Alabama was the biggest, but he said getting in the MAC championship would be the next thing.
Haas. Greg Jennings, who leads the nation with 9.1 catches per game. Once again, a lot on the line today, and everybody across the Midwest with MAC concerns watching this one to see what happens if Western Michigan can come back and pull this out. A miracle win it would be. Toledo and Bowling Green will be your MAC title game. If Northern Illinois wins, well, then Akron can get in with a win tomorrow against Kent State. 5 receivers on 3rd and 8 for Robbie Haas, who limped off the field moments ago, but is now back gunslinging for a first down here. Simmons with the reception, 11 yards.
4 across zone coverage now. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. This DB will drop off. They're going to let him throw the short stuff. Nice throw here by Haas for the first down. And they're going to come up and tackle. And had they tackled a little better, they might have prevented the first down. But that's what we're going to see most of the rest of the way from Northern Illinois on defense, and that's as it should be.
Haas scrambling now, and English and West able to get to him. Back to the original line of scrimmage.
One thing that a quarterback that hasn't been playing is likely to do, he might just get isolated on one guy, and he's looking for Jennings. Jennings is double covered. He's covered underneath. You see Hansbrough, the number 12 Adriel Hansbrough version of the Twins, who's got outside leverage on him. There's an underneath coverage, so they're not going to just let Jennings be in man coverage at any point.
Riley on the delayed handoff. Nice move to get back to the outside, and he's close to a first down. Good shiftiness from Trevon Riley. 119 rushing yards per game, leads the MAC.
Yeah, nice moves on his part, but sort of a revived offensive line with Moran and Williams and Cortilla up front. They're doing just a little bit better job than they were in the first half. They're a little bit more motivated. Maybe they're sort of embarrassed with what's going on. So the O-line a little better.
Riley comes out, and this is Mark Bonds. And north-south running. Taken down by Keenan Blaylark.
Well, Blaylark was shooting the backfield and a little disgusted with himself because he could have blown him up in the backfield and was just over anxious, just trying to make the kill shot.
Three receivers, two to the far side for Haas. He swings it out to Greg Jennings. Jennings hit hard. That's going to be short of a first down. Phil Brown came up, as did Adriel Hansbrough.
George McDonald, the fine offensive coordinator for Western Michigan, said, we're going to put Jennings all over the place. They'll never know where he's going to be. So that time he's lined up. He's the slot receiver, and they just threw a little swing to him just to get the ball in his hands, and they come up 3rd and short.
National leader in receptions per game. Not on pace today. Here's Bonds again trying to fight for that first down, and it's going to be real close to that mark. Let's see what they give him for a spot.
Keenan Blaylark is making himself a real nuisance. He's getting in the backfield, and he's blitzing. These are run-down blitzes. Elgin, Illinois, 5'10", 230, doing a nice job. He's very quick. He times the snap well. He's got the snap count down. And he's in that backfield a couple of yards virtually every running play. Now we got a 4th and short, and Bill Cupid would love to have this one.
4 receivers, fumbled snap, toss, taken down. Nothing doing there. Ken West all over him.
Robbie Haas, Robbie Crotilla, the center, with a miscommunication. And here again, these are the kinds of things that happen when you haven't been playing a lot. But there's no excuse for it. Crotilla is a sophomore. He's been around a couple of years. That was just carelessness by somebody. What you do if you're the coach is you put the blame on both of them, the center and the quarterback. Quarterback either pulled up. It looked like the center might have pulled that ball up to the side. I know it's hard to believe, but centers do make mistakes.
Takes a big man to admit that, Coach.
Well, he's a big guy. 3'10".
Garrett Wolfe back to work. Tomorrow night, one of college football's fiercest rivalry games will play itself out on ESPN. West Virginia can lock down a BCS berth if they win out. First, they need to get past their rivals, the Pitt Panthers. College football primetime, presented by Cooper Tires. Part of the Feast Week, presented by Intel on ESPN Thursday at 8 Eastern. Pitt, West Virginia is available in high def on ESPN HD. Call your cable operator or satellite provider today for that. Ho, ho, ho.
Look who's here.
Now, see, that's the kind of guy that does the Christmas decorations before we're not even done with Thanksgiving. I got a guy in my neighborhood like that.
Well,
Puts the lights up like after Halloween.
Well, in South Georgia, they have them up in August.
But my kids would like that sight. He's staying warm here.
South
It's a
Georgia?
windy day. Yeah, they'd like that too.
Some places they keep them up all the time, Joe. Santa's here. Well, that's Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, and we had a little Sam I Am reference earlier today. Sam Hurd pulled in that big touchdown catch. Fans here, you know, real nice showing for a cold.
But there are no green eggs and ham anywhere in the stadium.
No, I don't think Sam would like that. But a good crowd.
Yeah,
on a Wednesday
crowd.
game.
Wonderful crowd.
People are still working. People are traveling. But there was a lot on the line. And then you can always do this. You can come out and see maybe the best running back in the Midwest, Garrett Wolfe.
Who's that out in front?
61 yards.
Sam Hurd escorting him for all 61 of those yards. Number 84 down the field in front of his man, Wolf Clark. Nice job up front. Nice job by the big man. Look at Sam. Look at Sam. Sam Hurd's out there just driving Louis Delmas, driving him nuts.
What a great downfield block by Sam Hurd. You know, Sam Hurd's the kind of wide receiver that wants the ball all the time, but even when he doesn't play with the ball, he's coming up with big plays like that right there. Wolfe. Nothing in the middle this time.
Well, Sam Hurd's also going to make himself a bunch of money doing that because the NFL loves people that are complete players. And that's what Sam Hurd is, and that's what Garrett Wolfe is. You know, Garrett Wolfe is one of the best pass blockers they have. Look at here. 267, you'd say, well, surely he's not a good blocker. He attacks blitzers. He makes blitzers scared to come the next time.
How about at 5'7", 177 pounds, thinking he's not a good blocker? But he is tough, physical, and explosive. And now here's Sam Hurd getting his chance. Hurd down to the 10-yard line, and another first down for the Huskies. 13 yards on that pass play.
It's so easy to say, well, everything goes well when the running game is going. And it does. But there's also a lot of poise out here. Nicholson is so impressive. He's just so patient. He runs, he moves, he pulls up, he finds Hurd, he finds the open receiver. He gets the job done. He does not look like a freshman out here.
Sam Hurd, 120 yards now. Garrett Wolfe, a little delay, waiting for the block, and then gets it to the 6-yard line.
We haven't mentioned John Brose and Jake Ebenhoek, the right guard and right tackle, respectively. Number 60, John Brose, is the tackle, and Jake's the left guard. They've been doing a fine job and haven't probably gotten the credit that they deserve. Over on the other side, Doug Free, 62, and Ben Lewick, the left guard. This whole offensive line has done a terrific job today.
They can get a first down inside the 1-yard line. Wolfe wants more than that, though. A little shake and bake. Can he get there? Touchdown. Wow. Number 5. What a day for Garrett Wolfe.
Yes, that was a marvelous run. He probably should not have scored, but I'm going to tell you, Doug Free and Ben Lewick just took the right side, Anthony Belmonte and Paul Mersch, and just caved in the side of the line to give that little guy room to run. We're up here scrambling around looking at record books now as he's going.
Well, there's reason to look at him. Garrett Wolfe on his way to a record-setting day.
Watch 62, and big Jake Nordine's in there as well, and they just caved in, everybody in a white shirt, and then Garrett Wolfe with pure determination dragged Ludeman into the end zone. What a terrific block and run.
Michael the Burner Turner, the great running back here, did it twice in 2002, 5 touchdowns. The school record is 7 touchdowns. And what a day for Wolfe.
What year was that?
2002? Oh, 1970. The 7 touchdowns, 1912.
That's when touchdowns were 4 points.
That's right. Sensational day for Wolfe. 36 carries, 277 yards. And keep in mind, he had missed 3 games with a strained MCL. Last week, he was a game-time decision in that critical win against Toledo. And everybody has said, hey, he's not even 100% for this game. Boy, if he's 100% by the time they play in that MAC championship game, watch out.
Well, and all year long, he's been subluxing his shoulder. His shoulder comes out, he gets up and puts it back in and keeps playing.
Kirk Ellsworth fielding another touchback.
Well, when they're kicking that direction, that's exactly what you ought to do.
Here's Dave Ryan with more on Garrett Wolfe. Dave?
Well, guys, last year, just as the season was ending, Garrett Wolfe was involved in an off-campus skirmish, and as a peacemaker was sucker punched. He had a severely damaged eye, had to wear a visor for that Silicon Valley Classic bowl game last year with Troy. Now, as Coach mentioned it, in spring ball, had a shoulder dislocation. For a while, he wore a brace on it to keep the joint in place, but Garrett says the brace made it hard for him to move and hard to breathe, so he took it off. And as the coach said, about once a game his shoulder pops out, he pops it back in. This guy can tolerate pain. Is he ever tough? And oh, by the way, overcoming the MCL strain.
Yeah, he's an amazing, amazing story, Dave. Tim McCarthy, wonderful tackle there. Second of the day, second leading tackler on the team.
Yeah, excuse me, Joe. That was a form tackle. I got excited. Number 53, Tim McCarthy, looked like a projectile. Perfect body lean right between the numbers. Beautiful tackle by the outside linebacker, middle linebacker, rather. Lined up outside that time, but what a terrific tackle.
McCarthy, a former stellar high school wrestler. You like those wrestlers when they transition over to football. They bring such great skill in terms of conditioning and arm strength, and knowing what to do on the field.
I like their conditioning. I like their toughness, and they also understand leverage. When you saw that tackle by McCarthy, that's the kind of thing a wrestler has to be able to do to keep from being turned over on his back. I've always respected those guys. Not the professional kind. I'm talking about the real wrestlers.
3rd down and 5 coming up here as we are going to come to the end of the 3rd quarter. Huskies in complete control. Number 1 is indeed number 1 today. Garrett Wolfe. Can he tack on more? 277 yards and 5 touchdowns worth already.
Codebreakers, an ESPN original movie, Saturday, December 10th at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Hey. Whew. Yeah. You look relaxed for somebody in your condition.
Yeah, it's because I have Aflac.
What do you mean?
Oh, when I'm hurt and miss work,
Aflac gives me cash to help pay bills. My health insurance doesn't.
You mean like car payments?
Mm-hmm. Electric bills?
Mm-hmm.
Or the rent?
Yep. Huh. Even food. Chinese is here.
Great. I love duck.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
There couldn't be a better time to get an ADT home security system, because this holiday, you can get a special offer. Save up to $200 on ADT's protection packages. You may save up to 20% off your homeowner's insurance. ADT is the #1 security company in America, particularly at the holidays, with the threat of fire hazards and more families traveling, leaving their homes empty. So call now and take advantage of ADT's holiday special. ADT, always there.
Charlie just came into some money.
That was just blind luck.
Now, all he wants for Christmas...
The guy you thought might be looking for you? Yes.
...is to live to see New Year's. The Ice Harvest.
Sure nothing's going on?
Not a thing.
Rated R.
Till I can get my satisfaction.
Celebrate the power and control of the Audi A6 at the 25 Years of Quattro event. Take a test drive today.
Now at Best Buy, get no interest financing till 2008 on everything, like the hottest gifts of the season. Hurry in now for no interest financing on everything in the store till 2008. This holiday, there are more gifts to give and deals to get at Best Buy.
Pretty scene here, Alt Guild Hall, the castle-like structure here on the campus of Northern Illinois. And speaking of castles, the Huskies are playing like kings of the MAC West, which they will be if they can hold on for the next 15 minutes. Up by 35. 3rd down and 4 for the Broncos. Looking for any sign of life here in this 2nd half, and that is completed by Chappell, and Chappell looks to have a 1st down. Joe Tessitore, Coach Bill Curry with him. Coach, you travel the country, do tons of college football games, visit everybody. Is this the best running back performance you've seen this year? Garrett Wolfe, 277 yards and 5 touchdowns in 3 quarters of football?
36 carries in 3 quarters. He's been injured. The last time I saw a back this good was right here, and it was Garrett Wolfe against Miami of Ohio. And he is just the best back I've seen this year. We got to see D'Angelo Williams, who's a great player at Memphis. He got injured in the game we had at University of Alabama, Birmingham, so he didn't get to finish the game.
That ball's incomplete. Alva Hansbrough defending on the play intended for Greg Jennings. Hansbrough, the identical twin brother of the other starting cornerback, Adriel Hansbrough.
And it's just excellent man coverage. The Hansbroughs are both good at that. They're also very good tacklers, but they're running stride for stride, and there was Alva running stride for stride with the All-American Greg Jennings. Had him on his outside hip, just played it as well as you can play it.
Jennings 5 catches on the day for 41 yards, well below his average. Scheffler able to make that catch. Jennings with the 5 catches does become the all-time leader in Western Michigan history, but he was pretty well hyped coming in. Not much you can do when Northern Illinois plays the way they're playing today.
Well, the guys up front, we've raved about Northern Illinois' offensive line, but their defensive line, Quince Holman and Ken West and company, have done a great job of shutting down the run, which allows them to have flexibility and to double cover somebody like Jimmy.
3rd and 4. Hoss. A lot of time. Picks an option. And close to a first down is the running back Mark Bonds, who came out of the backfield to get that reception. Looks like he's got it. Robbie Haas, who came in after the injury to Tim Hiller.
He wanted Jennings on the dig pattern. Jennings is going to come here, the deep inside crossing pattern, and I'm not sure why he didn't go ahead and throw it to him. It looks like they had it. See the window right there. But it looks like the linebacker played it well, took it away, and he had to throw his dump off, and they ended up with the short game.
Bonds getting some work here in the 4th quarter, the backup tailback. Scott Reese is in the studio with an update. Scott?
Oh, Joe, it's turning out to be a big baseball day. We told you about Carlos Delgado likely heading to the Mets. Now the Phils and Sox have reached a preliminary agreement that would send Jim Thome to the White Sox in exchange for Aaron Rowan and some cash considerations. The deal subject on the players passing physical. Joe?
Well, that's big news here out in Northern Illinois country. You see a lot of people. You come out here now, you see all these Chicago White Sox hats and jackets.
I wonder why. That wouldn't be fair to have Thome on the White Sox, too.
They are loaded. Rowan, a very good player, but Thome now in the mix. Incomplete there. Will bring up a 3rd down.
Ken West, again, number 34, the guy that's pound for pound the strongest man on this team, and he runs so well. Watching him in tape, I really think that he's got a chance to play linebacker in the NFL. He's got 1 pressure, 5 tackles, and 2 sacks unofficially today by our records, and he's just all over the field. Number 34, terrific player.
6'1", 234 pounds. Coaches say the pound for pound strongest player on the team. 3rd and 5 for the Broncos. Flag is down in the backfield.
5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Another result of not playing much, just not in the habit of looking for that 25-second clock.
Well, managing the game is something that takes time, and being out there and getting that experience. You can see Haas put in the service after Hiller went out with the leg injury. 20 of 32, buck 49, a touchdown pass that they really got aggressive when they put Haas into the game. They went right to the air, and it served them well. But then Northern Illinois' defense clamped down and came up with 2 interceptions. Haas now. Oh, Scheffler, his great tight end, started running before he caught it, or thought about it at least.
Earlier in the game, we showed you how easily Scheffler handled the football, how he just caught it and put it away with very little thought or effort. Now you get behind, you look around, you make sure you got plenty of room. He's already decided where he's going. He didn't take his head off the ball. He just wasn't thinking about catching the tip of the football.
Jim Laney out to punt. This time he gets the wind at his back, and it takes a nice bounce, but it goes into the end zone. Laney's got a good leg. 59-yard kick. 12:28 to go. Strike up the band. The Huskies are on their way to a MAC division title.
Redesigned 2006 Saturn Vue. Get a new 2006 Vue starting at $17,990, 1.9% APR, and receive a $500 Target gift card.
This season, give the gift of John Madden and Dale Jarrett's Holiday CD.
A whole lot of sacks, and it's only the first.
A collection of 20 all-time classics.
Holidays are the pitch.
As only John and Dale can sing them.
Pole position.
For a gift people will actually want, come in now to Outback Steakhouse and buy holiday gift cards today. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Excuse me, you're still with your old brokerage firm?
I know, but I like being able to talk to somebody when I have a question.
Look, I don't want to be out there in cyberspace all by myself.
We moved our money to a TD Waterhouse online account. Their people really make us feel connected.
TD Waterhouse has investment consultants you can talk to when you have a question, so you're not out there all on your own. You can do this. Switch to TD Waterhouse, the alternative to higher-priced brokers.
ESPN2's college football presented by Nikon. MAC conference matchup, Western Michigan, 7 Northern Illinois, 42. And that makes for a happy Joe Novak. Not yet, though.
Looks
in 12
really
minutes
happy.
and 28 seconds, he'll be happy.
Doesn't he look joyful?
Oh, just celebratory. His first 5 seasons had to get this thing off the ground. 14 and 41, but since then, he has shared 3 MAC West Division titles, and now he's closing in on getting one all on his own, heading to that MAC championship game. Adrian Davis with the carry. Garrett Wolfe, 277 yards, 5 touchdowns, but Davis gets the call there. Here's Dave Ryan.
Well, Joe, you said it a moment ago. Joe Novak and Northern Illinois have made that MAC title game. It looks like they're going to get there. They've won, or at least have a share of the MAC West title 3 of the last 4 years. But Joe told us this week we are not going to take Western Michigan lightly. Now, in past years when they've shared that MAC West title, they've had a lot of people patting them on the back, and the players have kind of bought into that, been too overconfident going into the game, and that's hurt them because they have not gotten the MAC championship game, it appears, until now. Much different story. They were not overconfident, obviously did not overlook the Broncos.
No, didn't overlook them at all, Dave. And that ground game has been churning and churning and churning. Davis gets the call again. This is a football coach that you really relate to, Coach Kerr. I mean, you like the work of Joe Novak.
Well, I do. I didn't like it when I had to coach against him. And he was the defensive coordinator at Indiana with Bill Mallory when they were really, really good. They were going to bowls every year. They were factors in the Big Ten race. I'm talking about the early 90s now. We were at Kentucky, and we knew we were going to face a real hard-nosed, well-coached defensive unit when Joe Novak coached the defense there. He came here. He took over a program that was just really struggling and had his own struggles for several years. That takes great patience and hard work.
3rd and 4. Davis getting some good work here and a nice block to earn that first down. The center getting out in front, Brian Van Acker. Well, here's how Joe Novak got himself to the Huskies. Defensive coach his whole career. You talked about the work he did at Indiana for 11 seasons. And now at Northern Illinois since '96 onward, and about to get himself a spot in the MAC championship game. Adrian Davis banged up on that last play. He's taking a knee before he gets himself off the field. See them tending to him.
You mentioned this earlier, that Joe was pretty upfront that this was not his best team, that he felt like he had stronger leadership on some others. But I'll tell you what, everybody got themselves ready today, and they came out here and just took this game over. And they have taken a very good Western Michigan team, and they have shaken them like rag dolls all day long. They really have.
A.J. Harris will now be the lone back as Adrian Davis has made his way off the field after being injured on that last play. First down again for the Huskies. Harris, oh, nothing changes. Offensive line firing off. You know, one of the things I want to talk to you about, Coach Curry, is last night everybody was sitting back and watching the Bowling Green-Toledo game. And Western Michigan had a chance, and Coach Bill Cubitt had a chance to have something really on the line here today to win that Western Division. Was anything taken out? Were they deflated when BG won that game in double overtime, you think? This young team, knowing that they're not playing for a division title here against Northern Illinois?
I doubt that the players would be conscious of thinking that, but when you got this many youngsters, and you got 6 freshmen starting on defense, I think it makes a difference. I think you may lose a little edge when they think, well, we're not going to be in the big game, and just maybe lose that little bit that they need to play. And when you've got this many youngsters playing, you got to play at your razor-sharp best to win, and that's what they've done most of the time this year. It is an amazing accomplishment by Cubitt and his guys, but they were not ready today. They got knocked around big time in this game.
That was Montel Clanton on that last carry. A flag is down. We'll get the call.
Dead ball. Personal foul on the offense, number 68. It's a 15-yard penalty. It'll be 3rd down.
Big Jake Ebenhoff, right guard. Big personal foul there. But getting back to Bill Cubitt, you know, in talking to him yesterday, he told us about, hey, when I took this job, I had a sense that the kids wanted discipline. He didn't come in like a drill sergeant trying to just give it out. They actually wanted it. They wanted that security and that system in place where they knew there was a standard to be met.
The word he uses with great consistency is process. This is all a process. He says, we didn't talk about winning and losing. We talked about being part of the process. That means going to class. That means being active in the community. That means behaving yourself. And if you didn't do those things, by golly, you weren't here. And he lost 30 guys. 30 guys. They only have 70 on scholarship now. So he got this program disciplined. Uh-oh.
That's Clanton.
Good gracious.
Wow.
Looked a lot like Garrett Wolfe.
The 4th string tailback for the Huskies is even doing it.
That's another thing that Joe Novak's been able to do here. He's been able to build some depth with his own process, and that's really what Cubitt's trying to get started. I think he's modeled himself sort of after Novak, and you see a couple of good double teams there. Again, same guys, same victims. Doug Free, Ben Lewick working down there, 62 and 79, working up front against Mersch and Belmonte, and just manhandling them. And a nice big hole for the 4th string tailback, who looks an awful lot like the 1st stringer.
Montel Clanton, 39-yard pickup. Here he goes again, right up the middle.
Quickness, look at that.
All teed off with his 5th tackle of the day, but some quality work here in this 4th quarter for Clanton.
And Joe was over there all upset. He was getting ready to jump on Ebenhoff for getting that personal foul and costing them, making them having to punt the ball into the wind. And now they still got the ball because they unleashed yet another tailback, Montel Clanton. What a terrific looking player he is from Rockford, Illinois.
And another one of these running backs who's a little guy, 5'7", 176-pounder. Garrett Wolfe's 5'7", Adrian Davis is 5'5". Systems in place, it works. Coming from the backside to make that tackle right there is Zach Davidson. Been some inconsistencies this season with Northern Illinois. 190 yards a game, 3rd in the MAC, that rushing offense. Today, 358 yards rushing. Garrett Wolfe with 277 of those with 5 touchdowns, and he played 3 quarters.
Yeah, but that's the thing that Coach Novak doesn't like, is the inconsistency that this team has displayed. He's had more consistent teams, but by golly, he hasn't had one that's gone to the MAC championship, and this one's going.
I'll tell you
so
what, this team may be inconsistent, but this team is dangerous. Between Sam Hurd and Garrett Wolfe, there are some real talented game breakers on this squad here.
Don't forget Dan Nicholson, that terrific young quarterback. I am so impressed with the way he handles himself, and what a shame we couldn't see a duel between Nicholson and Tim Hiller, the fine young quarterback for Western Michigan, who has had such a terrific year. He came into this game with 20 touchdown passes and didn't get to finish the job today. That's just really too bad.
Tim Hiller left the game early on in the first quarter with a leg injury, a right leg injury. They put the air cast on. And Robbie Haas has come in. Now the Huskies to punt here, Andy Dittbenner. Taking that time off the clock. Just over 6 minutes to go. Dittbenner, oh, it's a nice punt. Gets it right into that corner. And it goes out at the 10. 42-7, Huskies on top. The story of the day, the man in the Husky cap, Garrett Wolfe, can sit back and enjoy now. 277 5 touchdowns later.
Do Nikon people take better vacations? Or does the Nikon D50 just make it look that way? The digital SLR the world's been waiting for is here. The affordable new Nikon D50 makes taking incredible digital pictures so incredibly easy. Just about anyone can do it.
The 2006 Saturn Ion. Get a new 2006 Ion starting at $12,490, 1.9% APR, and receive a $500 Target gift card.
Tiger, Annika, Fred Couples, and Fred Funk. The Maryland Skins Game, an ABC Sports Thanksgiving weekend tradition. This week...
Doctor, I need your help.
VHIX.com, medical case 9071, inkitis.
Let me see your hands. You've been trying to find a car with the newspapers?
Yes.
This is bad.
Oh! Doctor, is there a cure?
Yes. It's VHIX.com.
Research your next car, get a free price quote, and find a local dealer.
I'm cured. Thanks, VHIX.com.
Case solved.
VHIX.com, Chicagoland's roadmap to the automotive world.
Can I help you, sir?
I found these over by the stairs.
Okay, thank you.
What are they?
Love handles. Lots of people lose them taking the stairs instead of the escalator. Thank you.
Comcast, focused on community.
ESPN2's college football is presented by the Nikon D50 Digital SLR. Incredible pictures made incredibly easy. And in part by Saturn. And by Corona Extra. Miles away from ordinary.
Joe Tessitore, Bill Curry, and Dave Ryan with you. ESPN2 happy to be here in DeKalb, Illinois. The Huskies up big time on Western Michigan. A lot of momentum on the field, and now some momentum off the field for the Husky program, Dave Ryan.
Well, you all say so. We're in the construction zone, so I've got the NIU Husky hard hat. See the logo up there? It's official. The groundbreaking took place here today. This mound of dirt, one of three. They had some fireworks at halftime. It's a $9.5 million facility. Now, Joe Novak said in his 10 years he's been here at Northern, he's tried to get this new facility to have weight room, coaches' offices, study hall, everything that the players need. And finally, they reached their $7 million goal to get the $9.5 million project off the ground. Groundbreaking today at half, and it is official. And there's certainly the facilities here will be probably some of the best they'll have in the MAC. Of all the 12 MAC schools, this is the only one that does not have top-notch facilities. But Coach Curry, you know how important that is. You got to have it to compete with recruiting.
You really do these days. And when you're 17 years old and you go around to these schools, you want to see that there's a commitment to your sport, and that's how you do it.
It's going to help them out a lot with the recruiting here at Northern Illinois. A little swing pass to Greg Jennings. Jennings out to the 35-yard line. Well, here's a look, a virtual look at what that facility will look like, Coach.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It'll be obviously at one of the end zones, including locker rooms and academic support room. The most important aspect, strength building room, meeting rooms for the players, and then an effective and aesthetically pleasing way for the players to run out on the field for their home crowds. Even that's a big part of the game because of television these days.
Here's Jennings again, and now he's going to pump up those stats on the day. Of course, leading the nation at 9.1 receptions per day, hauling in a couple here in the fourth quarter out of the backfield. Easy doings for him. 4:22 to go. Joe Novak closing in on a division title and a spot in the MAC championship game. You know, talking about facilities, Western Michigan, Coach Bill Cubitt, they actually have pretty decent facilities at this level.
They have beautiful facilities, and Bill conceded that they're probably the best in the MAC, and that's why they've recruited well. They got good players, and they'll get more good players. It's a program. Uh-oh, here goes somebody.
Mark Bonds. Backup tailback right up the middle.
They've been substituting, both teams substituting a lot now, so I hadn't seen that burst from Mark Bond since the first quarter, but that was nice blocking up front. Robbie Flotilla, Mark Otney up front. Nice job by the offensive line and an excellent burst by Bond. Look at him explode. Northern's got a lot of young people in there. Eric Benz, number 55, is playing and playing well. Bradley Pruitt, young corner in the game. In on the tackle there.
Number 85, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Call on Tony Scheffler, 6'6", 260-pound tight end. He is such a tough matchup for so many defenses in this league.
Yeah, and what I see that I like about Tony, he's out there and the score is 42-7, and he's still busting it. He's still trying too hard, making mistakes because of being aggressive.
Joe Chappell now. Not much there at all. Well, hold up the sign, because that is exactly where they're heading, to Detroit for the MAC championship game. Sam Hurd and Garrett Wolfe, the two offensive stars of the day.
I'd say those two guys probably deserve to hold it up about as much as anybody. You've got to take your hat off to the defense today as well, though. Jimmy Dornbos had his guys ready. They did a terrific job. And yes, Western Michigan was hampered with the injury to the quarterback. They absolutely shut them down after the first drive, after the quarterback changed.
Haas going deep, intended for Chappell. He overthrows him.
And Robbie Haas has been valiant today. He's come in the game and played very well early, and then he's had some struggles, and there have been times he hasn't been protected very well, but he's done the best he could.
Robbie Haas in for Tim Hiller, who went out with a leg injury. Hiller was in for the injured son of the coach, Ryan Cubitt. Ryan Cubitt there. Many remember him playing at Rutgers when his dad was an assistant coach there and then transferring out. And a family meeting back in Kalamazoo where he went to high school. And now here's an interception as the Northern Illinois defense holds strong here in the fourth quarter. And bringing it all the way back is Mark Ritter into the end zone. A 75-yard return. It's a flag down at about the 50-yard line. So let's hold on for a moment in the midst of that 75-yard return. It may be coming back.
We have a roughing the passer on the defense, number 55. It'll be a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, we mentioned that Eric Benz had been very evident and active today, and that time Eric got a little too active after the whistle. Tackled the quarterback. I didn't see it, so we may be able to get it for you. Here we go. We'll see Haas throw the football. Here comes Eric coming from his left end spot. The ball's well gone. And Eric getting off the field. He wasn't trying to hurt anybody. He's just excited to be playing and made his hit a little bit too late. So it all comes back. That's a great play by Mark Ryder, though. The ball was tipped by Tim McCarthy, number 53. Ryder took it and looked like a running back coming down the sideline with a horde of blockers in front of him, all for naught.
Yeah, I think Mark Ryder may have a nice conversation with Eric Benz later on today. Let's check in with Scott Reese. Scott?
Well, Joe, those of you waiting to see Arizona and Michigan State, you won't miss a minute. They pushed the tip back to 4:43 Eastern Time. Third place game of the Maui Invitational. Michigan State Zona coming up right after football. Guys, take us home.
The great college basketball action this week from out in Maui.
Why would you go to Maui and play basketball?
You're going to ask me that while I'm sitting here in about 15 degrees with a wind chill in the cornfields of northern Illinois.
Yeah.
Mark Bombs to the 29-yard line.
I want to say something else too, Joe. Sam Pittman is the assistant head coach at Northern Illinois, and he's the offensive line coach. And I got to tell you, this offensive line is so well drilled. And Joe Novak is a terrific head coach, but he's a defensive guy, so he has to have somebody like Sam that really runs that offensive line. That's one of the toughest places to coach, and they were terrific today.
Still gang tackling. Huskies defense. I want to remind you, Arizona and Michigan State coming up next. Two teams that'll likely be playing deep into March. They're going to be playing deep into the afternoon from Maui in moments. Sam Hurd, look at how excited he is. Shaking up his coach, Joe Novak. Headsets come off. Final minutes on the clock.
If I had some, if I were Joe, I would have somebody guarding my backside for one of those Gatorade bags. This is not Gatorade weather.
Joe Novak will be celebrating when we come back. 42-7. They're ready for him.
There it is. Oh, gee.
Tonight, Feast Week heats up on ESPN2. The NIT season tip-off continues with a semifinal doubleheader. At 7, top-ranked Duke beats Drexel, followed by UCLA and Memphis. At 11:30, USC faces Oral Roberts at the Great Alaska Shootout. On ESPN, Gonzaga and Connecticut clash in the EA Sports Maui Invitational Championship. It's all on tonight. For all the latest all the time, turn to ESPN News.
Breakfast Bistro Sandwich. Sonic's got it, others don't. Start your morning with Sonic's new Breakfast Bistro Sandwiches. Eggs and cheese with bacon, sausage, or ham on Sonic's new toasted ciabatta bread. Buy a reloadable My Sonic card today and give the gift of great food.
Redesigned 2006 Saturn Vue. Get a new 2006 Vue starting at $17,990, 1.9% APR, and receive a $500 Target gift card.
All of a sudden, it just pop comes to me. I have my cell phone, and I put on the recorder, and I can record my little melody. Okay. And without the phone, the melody would be lost in the sea of no more forever. Right? It's done wonders for my music.
Breakfast Bistro Sandwich. Sonic's got it, others don't. Start your morning with Sonic's new Breakfast Bistro Sandwiches. Eggs and cheese with bacon, sausage, or ham on Sonic's new toasted ciabatta bread. Buy a reloadable My Sonic card today and give the gift of great food.
Moments ago. The old bath. Start celebrating, Husky fans, and that's got to be a great feeling for Joe Novak.
Actually, it's not.
You've had that happen to you when you were at Georgia Tech, didn't you?
Yeah, unbelievable. It goes all down your back and your itches, and it's nasty. It's cold. It feels terrible. You have to act happy, and you can't get mad. And they got Sam Pittman, the line coach, as well.
For the first time in school history, the Northern Illinois Huskies are headed to the MAC championship game.
Him and Alvarez.
Great win for Coach Novak. Great season for Bill Cubitt and the Western Michigan Broncos. A tremendous turnaround after a 1-10 season. There's the star of the day, Garrett Wolfe. 5 touchdowns, ties a MAC record. He was sensational. Wolfe went for 277 yards. Sam Hurd had 119 yards receiving, and they are going to the MAC championship game. Our final score, 42-7, Northern Illinois all over the Broncos of Western Michigan. Coming up next, college hoop, number 12 Michigan State Spartans versus number 8 Arizona Wildcats. For Bill Curry, Dave Ryan, our entire crew, I'm Joe Tessitore. Now, let's take you out to Maui for some great college basketball action.
Our college basketball coverage on Feast Week continues here on ESPN2. Dave Remsen, Fran Fraschilla, and Hubert Davis. Glad to have you with us. We're taking you up to the consolation game in Maui, guys. Pretty good consolation.
Not bad.
Not bad. Tells you a little bit about how good this Maui field is. Michigan State and Arizona. Arizona got there somewhat conventionally. I mean, a loss to UConn in a competitive game last night. If you didn't see how Michigan State ended up in the consolation game, I think it's worth another look. Let's take a look at it. This is the semifinal last night against Gonzaga, and just one of the great games you'll ever see. 30 seconds left in regulation. Michigan State down 1. Maurice Ager drills the 3. Now Zags with the ball down 2, Fred.
Watch Rick Ribio's little boy, Derek, knock down the 3.
So the Zags go up by 1.